Yo, 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 you were tuned in to a very special edition of the Goodfellas podcast. I ain't even put a number on it. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. I got my man with me, Ty Finney, the legend. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? Salute to you, man. Glad to come on, chop up the spots and talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, Man, we got a really big weekend. We gonna give guys a couple minutes, get on in here, you know what I'm saying, so we can go ahead and chop it up. But actually, you know what? Before we even get on topic, I just seen this come through my phone. Ryan Garcia has gone on to work with Derek James. Hot off the presses. I heard about it, but I wasn't 100% sure. So just off top, bro, like what you think about that?
I think it's a good move. I was hearing at first that he was going to go back with Eddie Reynoso, but I was hearing, Reynoso was saying that Ryan Garcia, he doesn't take training seriously. He likes to just train a little bit and then go straight for the cameras. Do interviews and be out in the press and stuff like that. So I think Derek James is definitely a good move for him. Get him on track and stay focused 100% on training.
How do you think that fit would be in terms of style? Like Derek James, um, he really has one premier style that he teaches. Ryan Garcia, to be honest with you, we don't know what kind of style he really has. To be honest with you, how you think that fit gonna be from a style standpoint?
We'll see how it play out, but I do think it's a good move. It seems like a lot of boxers are going with Derek James. We've seen it with AJ now Ryan Garcia. So I think Derek James is definitely going to have a lot on his plate. But he's a good trainer, so I'm sure he'll work it out with Ryan Garcia for sure.
You know what, like when I first seen it, I'm like, usually my first thought is usually the thought that I'm gonna go with. Um, I think is a good fit for Ryan Garcia from a style standpoint because Derek James is not gonna go teach him a bunch of advanced level shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like guys will link up with some trainers and then they'll start trying to show them the shoulder roll and all this other crap. Like if you ain't been doing that since the beginning of your career, it's just certain things you shouldn't be doing in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Um, the one thing I liked about Derek James when he was in Anthony Joshua last fight, it was really two things. Number one, AJ was decisive in what he was going to do offensively before he got on his defense. That was number one. And number two, I'd never seen AJ catch so many punches before in in his career. Now, Jermaine Franklin is a solid fighter. I'm not saying Jermaine Franklin is top five or even top 10, but this is the same person that they said, gave Dillian White a run for his money. And some people thought he beat Dillian White. So I don't want anyone to discredit, you know, um, Jermaine Franklin, but he was catching a lot of shots, bro. He was catching a whole lot of shots. I mean, just a bunch of this, just bunch of this. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't getting himself out of position. He wasn't getting all the way out the pocket. Like it was kind of just see the shot, block the shot, or see the shot, roll with the shot. You know, and you could tell that was something that he picked up from Derek James. And those are two basic things that AJ took into the fight, and he was successful in the fight. He didn't get hit with nothing big. You know what I'm saying? Stayed patient, and then he showed a little bit of that offense that he's known for having as well. So I think Derek James is a good fit for Ryan Garcia because he's going to add some small things but important things to his game and have him disciplined inside the ring. Like I think lack of discipline is why he lost the Tank. To be honest with you, like he was just caught in the moment, like just swinging wild. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that against a power guy like that, skill like that. And Tank Davis. So I think it's a good fit as long as he didn't go back to Reynoso. I was cool with whoever he picked. But I like Goosen. I like Goosen, but um Goosen doesn't have a big enough name to where he he can tell Ryan Garcia don't bring the cameras in, or
Mm.
you know, don't do this, don't do that. Like Ryan Garcia brought Joe Goosen in, but he probably let Joe Goosen know, like, hey, listen, this is what's gonna happen. Um, and either you cool with it or you not cool with it. See, Derek James got more cachet than you know, than Goosen. So Derek James can actually control the terms of this agreement. And Ryan Garcia, if it don't work out, Ryan Garcia is the one that's going to look bad, not Derek James. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I got my guy Mark Nash in the building, man. What's up with you? Big shout out to Mark Nash, man. Um, yeah, but like who do you think he fights next though? Like since he has Derek James, like
That's a good question, man. It's a lot of guys at 140, but coming off a loss like he had, I would go for like a nice tune up. I just interviewed Alex Martin. Alex Martin been calling for this fight for a long time. So they both fight on the zone. They both with Golden Boys. So that could be a good step for him. For his first fight back.
yeah, big shout out to Alex Martin, man. If y'all didn't check that interview out, definitely go on T Finney's YouTube channel. It's definitely up. Ty, if you wanna throw the link in the chat, for guys to get to it at some time during the show, more than welcome to go ahead and do that. You know what I'm
All right.
saying? Um, because people need to hear, you know what I'm saying, like some of these young guns
Mhm.
coming up in the game. Ryan Garcia, I think this gonna be a weird answer, bro, but I want to know what Ryan Garcia promotional situation is.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really want to know what his promotional situation is, because if he's with Golden Boy and they're linked to the zone, I don't think they can really maximize his earning potential. Because regardless of how you feel about Ryan Garcia inside the ring, the numbers he did with Tank, you have to put him on a pay-per-view to find out how much of that was Ryan and how much of that was Tank. And or whether it was just that combination and neither one of them are pay-per-view stars. Like you have to, and that goes for Tank too. I want to make that perfectly clear. Tank did 1.2 with Ryan. Ryan did 1.2 with Tank. What are they gonna do without each other? Tank without Ryan Garcia did anywhere between 100 something thousand and 250 per pay-per-view. Um, Ryan Garcia, we haven't seen him on pay-per-view. So we don't know what he's gonna do. But that was just a good combination. That was just a good combination. But I think if Golden Boy is still running the show, it's limited. Like it's limited what he can do at 140 under Golden Boy. Like is limited. Like if I'm Oscar to keep it 100, I would just, I'm not saying give Ryan Garcia away, but I would have a situation similar to like Al Heyman and like Danny Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? Where he's still controlling things, but at the same time, he's giving Ryan Garcia the green light. Go across the street, go get that pay-per-view money. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he takes his cut off, Oscar takes his cut off the top, and let him get at it, at 140. Because I promise you, if Al has him, every fight of his is pay-per-view. All of them. You know what I'm saying? They'll put Rolly and Ryan Garcia in the pay-per-view so fast, bro. That promo will be up like tomorrow. Like they won't even have no date on it. Like it just be coming soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Everybody is upset, with this controversy, decision that Rolly had. I watched the fight. Wasn't a fight that I was highly interested in, but it definitely caught my attention. And Rolly got another gift, man. I don't know what Tony Weeks what was up with him, but this ain't the Tony Weeks that we know, man. That was a horrible stoppage, but
Yeah. I agree 100%. And I'm a Tony Weeks fan, man, prior to Saturday. Like Tony Weeks is pretty stand up, as far as being a trainer. You know what I mean? I just don't I I don't know, bro. Like it was just that was one of the worst I've seen. That was bad. Like that was really, really, really bad. Um I mean, it's one thing where a guy is just, he's blocking shots, he's getting low, he's trying to, you can tell he's playing defense, but he's trying to get himself together. Like, if he would have stopped it then, I would have been like, okay, cool. I still would have said it was a bad call. But the thing about it, I'm like, he was returning fire. Like, he was returning fire. So I was just like, I just I didn't understand it. And people get mad when you be like, it's corruption in boxing, and people be on the take, people get paid off and things like that. Like, I mean, come on, like for that's how I know it's something in the works for Rolly. Big things in the works for Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Rolly is the new age. He's the new age Ricardo Mayorga. He's the new age Ricardo Mayorga. For people that don't know who Ricardo Mayorga is, he fought every premier fighter in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like he fought Oscar, he fought Shane, he fought everyone because he was controversy. He talked a lot of shit and he could talk himself into a fight. He was on pay-per-views the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? That's who Rolly is. Rolly is that's who Rolly is at the end of the day. And it was better for business that Rolly got that W than that other dude. It's sad, but that's just that's just what happened. Um Gabriel Ruiz, what's going on? What's up with you? He says, "Sup, fellas? The Rolly fight. I think that was a wink from a promoter and an envelope in the mail. Man, damn the mail. That envelope was that envelope was backstage. That one ain't going to mail, bro. Straight up, that did not go in the mail. What you think about that, bro? My man Todd Finney just dropped off. But Gabriel, let me speak on that a little bit more, bro. Like it's stuff like this that make you like, damn, like why does this have to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, bro. Like it's literally crazy. You know what I mean? My God, man, L Dub the plug in the building, man. Big shout out to L Dub the plug. If you're not tapped into L Dub Boxing, I don't know what's going on with you. I need for y'all to go over there. L Dub Boxing, definitely subscribe, man. He's definitely one of the hottest dudes on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I call him the block Mike Cop. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to L Dub, man. Hey, L Dub, I tell you came to the right person, baby. I told you where Andy Cruz was gonna be, baby. You know what I'm saying? I told you where he was gonna be. You know what I mean, big shout out to my guy L Dub, man, for sure. Gabriel Ruiz. If you go back to the Kaufman versus Areola fight, Travis easily handled Chris, and this was the same situation. Um, yeah, it's a lot of fights that you can reference. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fights that you can reference like that. Um, this was just another one in a long line of just just fights that that just leave your head scratching, that feeling in the pit of your stomach. It's just a bad feeling, man. I feel sorry, um, for the opponent, you know, um, I know I like laugh and joke around sometimes when it come out of these fighters, man, but that was bad. Like that was bad, man. Like Tony Weeks need to send that guy an apology letter for sure. Um, and that's another problem too. When referees have bad decisions, when referees, make mistakes, like big mistakes that can cost guys momentum in their careers, they need to be disciplined. They need to be disciplined, man. And it's like, a lot of these people that are making mistakes in boxing, there's no punishment behind it. Even guys that get caught with the juices in their system, they only get 6 months. They only get 6 months. They like, all right, if I juice for 2 years and that might get me a 7-figure fight, and the only punishment I'm gonna get is a 6-month suspension and maybe some backlash in the media. Like, I didn't fed my family with a 7-figure check. Like, the punishment doesn't match the crime in boxing. The punishment does not match the crime in boxing, man. And it's like, um, Tony Weeks need to understand that guy is probably never going to get another opportunity like that in his life. He's never going to get another chance to win a world title, to be a main event, be on that stage. And I'm not saying that Rolly wouldn't have came back and won the fight, because anything can happen in a fight. But Tony Weeks, like, you literally cost that man maybe some life changing earnings in the future. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, like, people, and the thing that's bad is, like, nobody's calling for a rematch. Nobody's calling for a rematch because nobody asked for that fight to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked for that fight to begin with. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody asked for that fight to begin with. Legend, legend, legend. Okay. Is it on live on your channel too?
Yeah, let me
It
see. Yeah,
is.
it's still late. My bad, man. I have
Okay,
some
no, you
connection
good, you
issues.
good. No, you good, you
Yeah,
good. No,
yeah.
you good. Now I want to put Gabriel comment back up there.
All right.
He said, "What's up, fellas? Rolly fight. I think that was a wink from the promoter and the envelope in the mail. What you think about that?" You froze up again, Doug. I think my man Legend having a problem with his connect over there. We're gonna keep that thing moving on. Yeah, Gabriel, though, it's you back, bro? We'll move on, keep it moving. Uh Gabriel Ruiz, he said, definitely spot on. Judges and refs rarely face disciplinary action. The guy that Rolly fought is 40. Yeah, I feel bad, bro. Like, I really feel bad for I really feel bad for that guy. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen plenty of dudes get robbed in boxing by the ref, by the judges, and it seemed like a lot of times a lot of guys do not recover. You know what I mean? Seem like a lot of times guys don't recover from that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's the horrible part about boxing. You know what I mean? That's the horrible part about boxing for sure, man. Like, I'm telling you, dude is never gonna get an opportunity like that. He's never gonna get an opportunity like that again. Rolly ain't gonna give him no rematch or none of that. Like, and this about the second, third fight, Rolly done, snuck out the back door with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely snuck out the back door with it for sure. So it's crazy, but Rolly moves on. Rolly has a belt, technically, has a belt at 140 pounds, and Rolly's open for business, and it's nothing more lucrative than a champion that's vulnerable, and he technically has a belt, and he's vulnerable. So everybody's gonna be lining up to fight Rolly. I can see a Ryan Garcia Rolly fight. I can see a Pro Graves Rolly fight. Um, to be honest with you, I could see Tank and Rolly running it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see them running it back, but Rolly got major business. at 140 pounds, man. He got major business. He's just enough of an entertainer and has just enough flaws in his game for people to really jump on, you know what I'm saying, the Rolly train and try to get that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Rolly gonna get people to watch for sure. Like it's either you love Rolly or you hate Rolly. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see what happens with that. But yeah, Tony Weeks got to get suspended, bro. Tony Weeks got to get suspended, man. And I usually I try to lay off the referees. It'd be more so the judges than the referees, but um, man, like that's bad. It was bad. Like it was really, 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 really bad. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I mean, I'm definitely gonna follow up on it and see, if they're going to do something going forward. You know what I mean? Um, I'm gonna definitely find out if he's. I don't even know if it's under investigation. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know if it's under investigation. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Now I'm not gonna lie. Now Gabriel, you said that his opponent fought that he fought was 40, bro. You might have to you might have to check that birth certificate, bro. He looked like he was 40 about 30 years ago. Yeah. He looked like he lived a hard life for sure. Like he looked every bit of 70. Like, I'm not buying that 40. I'm not buying that 40 crap, man. Like he looked every bit of 70 years old, man. Like just icy hot, all on the kneecaps, bro. All on the kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? Like AARP was definitely a silent partner for him in this fight, man, for sure. Like he's like old, like you never seen a young picture of him. Like he's always been old. Like out the womb, he been old. You know what I'm saying? But that makes it worse on Rolly. Like Rolly, like like Rolly lost to a 70-year-old, bro. He lost to a 70-year-old. It's crazy. They gonna be lining up to spank Rolly. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Gabriel said so. Basically, Tony Weeks retired that man. Yeah, like that's gonna be the last spotlight fight that guy has, bro. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part because you have to go off of what you were seeing. So at that particular time, you know what I mean? At that particular time, like he was winning. He was winning the fight. He was winning the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony Weeks basically put that man career to rest. Now, will he get another fight? Yes, he'll get another fight. Will somebody give him a TV opportunity because they felt bad for him in the Rolly fight? Yes, they will. But they're gonna line him up against killers for less money, and he's never gonna be in a position of even close to an A side. Like you understand what I'm saying, man? So he did retire that man in a sense. You know what I'm saying? That man earned some extra paydays because of his performance, but he was supposed to get the dub in that fight if Rolly doesn't come back and knock him out. Like he was supposed to get the win in that fight, man. Like straight up. You know what I mean? But I hate to see situations like that, man. I hate to see situations like that. But I'm not backing off of what I said though. I do think he was 40 years old about 30 years ago. Yeah, like he's definitely yeah, he's definitely on the older side for sure. Like they wasn't lying. Well, they was lying about that 40. They was lying about that 40, for sure. But um my man Legend is back. Mic
Yeah,
check, mic check, mic check.
yeah, if
Got
it,
my
if it
thing.
happens again, man, I might just stay off, man.
Hey man, we'll see what happens, bro.
Yeah.
But Gabriel said this. He said definitely spot on. Judges and refs rarely face disciplinary action. The guy that Rolly fought is 40. How you feel about that, bro? I think he froze again, bro. He froze again. What I'm gonna do is I don't know what's going on with Ty connection, but what I'm gonna do is we're gonna bring up um we're gonna bring up the top rank screen for hold on a second. So right here we got basically what's going down this weekend, man. Um Haney versus Loma, undisputed, 135 pounds. It's going down, MGM Grand, Las Vegas. Big shout out to my guy Padman McGriff, man, in the corner with Devin Haney, man. Big shout out to him. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch up soon. And I'm telling you, man, like this is gonna be a great fight. Like this is gonna be a really, really, really great fight. And I'm kind of curious to see what everybody thinks in regards to um, in regards to the actual, let me get you this layout here. Um, in terms of strategy wise, like how things are gonna be for this fight. My guy in the building, man, Adrian in the building. Big shout out, Adrian. What's up with you, bro? Um, but yeah, Haney and Loma, this is for all the marbles at 135 pounds. Basically, this is what we wanted to see. And let me just say this off the rip. I know the weigh-in is going to be tomorrow. I'm really curious to see how Haney looks. I'm really curious to see how Haney looks. If people didn't see how he looked during the weigh-in at his last fight, people was concerned. People was really concerned about Devin Haney. He made weight, but he looked shredded to the point to where he looked a little off. Like you can tell he definitely went through a process to make weight, and that's the number one job of a boxer. But he really looked like he got rid of every ounce of water, every ounce of fat. Like, I mean, he was like shredded, you know what I mean? But just in the face, his face was sunken in, which comes with, making weight, but his just looked a little extra. You know what I'm saying? His looked a little extra, and people was concerned about Haney. Now he came in and did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Handled business, won probably 11 out of the 12 rounds against Kambosos in the second fight. But I'm really curious to see how Haney looks during the weigh-in tomorrow. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see how he looks. Loma, he's a smaller 135, but he's been campaigning at 135 for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not worried about Loma making weight. You know what I'm saying? Like Loma could probably make 130 to keep it all the way stacked. But Haney's the one that I'm real curious to see tomorrow. And again, big shout out to my guy Padman McGriff. I'll definitely catch up with him. I'll get with him, soon enough. You know what I'm saying? But he's directly in Devin Haney's camp. So I'm definitely gonna line that up, at some point. And I actually want to get to actually the rest of the card actually. Um, so let's go check that out. Um, let's see. Let me get the card. Let's see. Event page. Let's see. I'm trying to see who was on the undercard. I know they got a couple people on the undercard though, for sure. Let me see. Why I can't find it on here though? Event page. It should be right on the event page. You know what? It's cool. It's cool. We ain't gonna worry about it. But Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see how this fight goes. Let me come up out the screen. It's gonna be interesting to see how this fight goes. Haney coming off of two big victories over George Kambosos. Um, George Kambosos, I mean, to be honest with you, he had a career-defining fight against Teofimo Lopez, won the belts, and he maximized his time with the belts. He got two home games. He lost twice at home to Devin Haney. Devin Haney's probably the worst matchup for Kambosos to have. But big shout out to him for taking the fight two times. And to be honest with you, this gets lost in the shuffle if Lomachenko's not fighting for his home country. And he passed up the initial opportunity. Haney doesn't even get the shot. Loma would have got that shot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad it played out the way it did. I'm glad Loma's getting the opportunity. I felt like he deserved an opportunity prior to him fighting for his country, but him fighting for his country and all of that, and for him to, get back and get an opportunity at Undisputed, like I'm cool with it. I'm 100% cool with it, but this is a really, really, really interesting style matchup. Um, really interesting style matchup, and I'm still like unsure on. I gotta do my homework on this fight. I've done a little bit of film study. In my brain, I kind of know how this fight is gonna go, but I'm a little unsure because the things that Devin Haney needs to do to actually win this fight, I haven't seen him do it in a real fight. Like I've only seen him do the things that I think he need to do to beat Loma, like in sparring. Like to be honest with you, like I've seen like sparring videos where he's done some of the things I think he need to do against Loma, and I haven't seen him um, do it in a real fight. Listen, if anybody want to actually like jump on the show, like put a one in the comment section. Like I'll send you a link if you want to tap in, like for sure. Gabriel Ruiz, he said, in your opinion, what can Loma do to win this fight? Because honestly, I don't see it happening. Um, Gabriel, let me ask you another question before I answer that. Number one, why don't you see it happening? And why don't you see it happening? Let me say that. Why don't you see it happening? Yeah, so Gabriel, answer that for me. Why don't you see it happening? And then I'll answer your question. Brennan Smith in the building. Big shout out to Brennan Smith. He said, I believe Loma will win. Brennan, tell me why you think Loma wins this fight. Tell me why. I'm real curious to get y'all opinions on why, who y'all think is going to win the fight and why y'all think they're going to win the fight before I actually get into my breakdown. So Brennan, definitely tell me why you think Loma's going to win. Gabriel, let me know why you think Haney's going to win and why you honestly don't see it happening. Um, Mark Nash, you said I got Haney. Mark, I'm gonna drop that link in a little bit. I'm gonna drop it in a little bit, bro. Gabriel said not enough power to keep Devin off him. I'm mm, okay, okay. But listen, everybody that's in here, Mark Nash, let me know why you got Haney. Brennan, let me know why you think Loma's gonna win. Adrian, if you're still in here, let me know who you think gonna win and why. L Dub, same thing. Who's gonna win and why? Brennan, Brennan said experience and ring IQ. And Brendan thinks Loma's going to win. Experience and ring IQ. Mark Nash say power is relative. I'll definitely agree with that. I'll definitely agree with that. Um I think we done seen Loma, showcase some power. At times we've seen Haney. Um I think Haney's gotten guys' attention, but obviously he's not known for really, smashing anything. You know what I'm saying? But if anybody's jumping in, let me know in the comment section who wins Who wins and why? And we're gonna get into the why part, and basically like what each guy needs to do to actually win the fight. You know what I'm saying? What each person needs to do to win the fight. Because I think it's a really intriguing fight. Um, Mark Nash said youth, distance, switching muscles, footwork, speed. I can go on. Like, this how you know Mark Nash is a true boxing guy. He said twitch muscles. That's how I know Mark Nash is for real. My man Ty Finney, the legend, is back. Bro, off the rip. Um, who do you have winning between Haney and Loma, and why?
I would say Devin Haney. You know, he's got the youth. You know, he's got the size. So, and I think at this point, Loma is a little older, but I think he's still got one of the best footwork in the game. So, but I got Devin Haney, man.
Decision?
Yeah,
The way it's looking, all of Devin Haney fights gonna be decision. You know. But Mark Nash. So I got everybody in the comment section basically saying who they think gonna win and why.
all right, cool.
Um, so I'm gonna scroll back just a little bit.
All right.
Um, Brennan Smith said, I believe Loma's gonna win. Gabriel said, he said, in your opinion, what can Loma do to win this fight? Because I honestly don't see it happening. Uh, Mark Nash got Haney. Gabriel said that not enough power to keep Devin off him, which I think is an interesting comment. Brennan said experience and ring IQ. Mark Nash said power is relative. Mark Nash said youth, distance, twitching muscles, footwork, speed. I can go on. Gabriel Ruiz, Haney has enough ring IQ also. Uh, Brennan said, I have not seen Haney's power. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Mark Nash, if Devin had no power, people would walk through him. I'm going to get into that too. YSM Sports Media said, my boys are back, man. Big shout out to YSM Sports Media, man. If you're not subscribed to YSM Sports Media, I think the last time I took a peek, I think he's almost at 30K, which is absolutely amazing. One of the best doing it. And a personal friend of mine, you know what I mean? Definitely go over to YSM Sports Media, man. Show him some love, man. Tell him your boy G5 sent you. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Bruce Gas in the building, man. Big shout out to Bruce. Another channel that's in my top 10 for sure. Like if you a boxing head, Bruce Gas is definitely where you need to be, man. He got a lot of great interviews, things like that. So definitely subscribe to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. One of my favorite channels, man, for sure. Mark Nash. When Loma does that side step and turn, Devin will step with him. He's done it 100 times in the drills and in fights. Said Bruce, what up? Bruce said, this is a fight that anything could happen. Bruce, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Said salute. Mark, I believe you'll see more stops once Haney moves up in weight. I agree with that. I think him cramming down to 135, he's been at 135 basically his whole career. They got to be careful with that. Brendan Smith, people are overlooking Loma. Bruce says a draw wouldn't shock me. Actually, got to find out what the betting line is on that. Brennan said, "Can we agree that Tank has the most power at 35? Tank has top 5 power in the sport. Like, forget 135. He has top 5 power in the sport. You know, change your life. You know what I mean? Real quick. Just legend. Um, what what can Loma do to win this fight? If you're coaching Loma, what can he do to win this fight? think Legend signal off. I think it's signal off again. But just off of the comments in the comment section, like it's a mix in opinions. You know what I'm saying? It's a mix in opinions, even in the comment section. Yeah, it looked like he froze, bro. He said, Nash, do you want Haney babies? Hey, Brennan, stop that, bro. Stop that, bro. He said he froze. Yeah, he been freezing the whole show. He's still a notoriously a slow starter. Yeah, let's get into this, bro. So, um, I want to actually go with Mark Nash comment first, and then I'm gonna start there. Where is it? Um, Mark Nash says youth, distance, twitching muscles, footwork, speed. I can go on. Now, those are all of the things that Mark Nash feels um, basically will help Haney get a victory. So, number one, youth, definitely. Um, he has youth on his side for sure. Distance. Now, traditionally speaking, yes, distance. I would agree. One thing that I will say is that Haney's not winning this fight with a jab and a move, or a jab and a move, or 1-2 and a move. He's not, and that's all he's doing offensively. He's not going to win the fight that way. He's not going to win the fight that way. Now, it's interesting you said twitching muscles, because that's something that Padman McGriff has been working on with him, and I know that personally. So he already had fast twitch muscles prior to Padman getting there, but once Padman got there, they really focused in on that. And of course, he doesn't just work with Padman McGriff, but you know what I'm saying. That's where my connection is with Haney, in that camp. Speed. Now, Loma's not slow. You know what I mean? Loma's not slow. So I'm gonna start there. So I think some of the main reasons I'm hearing why Haney wins this fight, and the main reason I'm hearing is just he's just bigger than Loma. Like he's just bigger than Loma and younger than Loma. Like that's what I'm hearing. Um, but I want for you guys to think about this, and I'm gonna be putting things out here during the course of the video, because I'm not gonna make my decision on who's gonna win this fight until tomorrow, because I don't know. I don't know. I gotta do some homework. I gotta get in the lab, do some homework. Now, Haney is the bigger guy, but have you seen Haney in a professional fight really impose his will size wise and really walk guys down and really be physical with guys? Have you ask yourself, have you actually seen that with Devin Haney? Have you seen it with him? You understand what I'm saying? Like, have you actually seen Devin Haney? And I know y'all listening. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all listening right now. That's a question that I have for everybody that's listening. Have you seen Devin Haney actually use his size against a fighter and really use his size advantage and really bully guys inside of the ring? Ask yourself that question. The most I've seen from Devin Haney is Devin Haney really just throwing that jab out there and really controlling the fight with the jab, sharp counters, and keeping the distance. Jabs, sharp counters, and keeping the distance is not a guy using his size and strength and his physical ability to basically play bully ball. So when people say Devin Haney's the bigger fighter, yes, I agree 100%. But at the end of the day, is he going to use his size? You know what I'm saying? Mark Nash said, why insult a person you don't know over a stranger? Mark, don't worry about that, bro. Don't worry about that. Brennan been here for a while, man. He don't mean nothing by it. Trust me, he don't mean nothing by it. Brennan, behave, bro. Behave, bro. That's my guy right there, man. Behave, man. Let me see. Bruce, He said the 11-year difference in age will play a factor in favor of Haney. Agreed. Agreed. I'm gonna get to that as well. T Finny, I'll just tune in. No idea what's happening with my Wi-Fi. They stopping greatness, bro. That's all. Cat-like reflexes. Yeah, I agree. He said I have not, but Haney may be able to do it. Um, Mark Nash. No, well, I read that one. Bruce Haney only 1 inch taller than Loma. Um, Mark Nash, Loma has beat bigger guys before. I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm glad you said that because people, and I'm playing devil's advocate both sides because I know that Loma's a really good fighter, Haney's a really good fighter. Um, it's just people are mentioning Haney size wise like Haney really plays bully ball inside of the ring, and he really doesn't. Like he fights like a pure boxer. He really doesn't impose his size and his will on guys. He imposes his jab on guys and his ability to recognize distance, take advantage of distance, and use that to his advantage. So, again, what fight have you seen Haney in where he used his size to actually bully his opponent? I have not seen it. I have not seen it. Do I think he can do it? Yes, I think he can do it, but he hasn't. Um, yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like he hasn't. Um, Mark Nash said Loma has beat bigger fight guys before. Mark Nash, his last fight, he beat Jermaine Ortiz. A lot of people are not familiar with Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz is a good fighter. Jermaine Ortiz is a good fighter, and I would like to say Jermaine Ortiz probably outweighed him anywhere between 7 to 10 pounds on fight night. 7 to 10 pounds easy on fight night. And Jermaine Ortiz actually did a good job early in the fight. First 4 rounds, he did exactly what I would tell a fighter to do to beat a Lomachenko. Combinations, 3 or more, with speed, and then when you're done, get back to your distance. Like that's how you handle things with Loma early in a fight because you got to bag them early rounds because Loma's a slow starter. You got to bag them rounds early, but you got to make sure you do it at a controlled pace. I think with Jermaine Ortiz went wrong. Jermaine Ortiz had so much energy. He burned a lot of energy early in a fight because I just think he was just too hyped. You know what I'm saying? I think he was just too hyped to try to establish himself. And I don't think he really conserved his energy. So he really faded late. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Mark Nash said I'm gonna post it. He said I'm past it. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Brennan, don't worry about him, man. He cool. He'll take a jab here and there. It's cool. He said he won't be intimidated by Haney's size. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think Loma's not gonna be intimidated by Haney's size. And I want to say this, bro. The thing about it is that Haney, like Loma can go in if Loma's like prime Loma can win this fight being himself, like the best version of himself. Haney's I think a sizable favorite, but to be honest with you, Haney's the one that has to make all he's the one that's gonna have to show new tools out the tool bag in this fight. Because a jab and a distance alone ain't gonna work against Loma. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't care what the size difference is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm feeling good tonight, bro. I'm feeling real good tonight. Hold on. I'm feeling good tonight. Man. Link in the chat, man. Let's get it. Link in the chat. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Because we definitely gotta talk. We definitely gotta talk about this, bro. We definitely gotta talk about this. Like, I just haven't heard anyone say like people think like Haney's gonna win only because he's bigger. That's it. Like that's all I've heard. So what can Haney do offensively to win this fight? I guess that's where I'm at with it. What can Haney do to win this fight? Because I'm at full belief that Haney has a top 5 jab in the business, but Loma's the type of guy that can neutralize a jab with his footwork. So, and we seen Loma first 6 rounds against Teofimo. You might as well say gift wrapped them joints and gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much after that, like, he turned up. You know what I'm saying? Bruce, he said that beating of Nakatani was impressive. Yeah, it was impressive. But the thing is, Bruce, the thing I like about Loma can get his offense off from any position, anywhere in the ring. You know what I'm saying? My guy Mark Nash in the building, man. What's going on, bro? You on mute, baby.
What up, fam? How you? Shout out to the best beard in the game, homie. I got this struggle beard up here. My beard look like I got alopecia or something, bro.
What's up with you, bro?
Salute to you, man. Great show, man.
Man, salute to you, man. You know the thing that's crazy, man. Like, and it's like everything you said is facts as far as like Haney and everything he brings to the table. And I know what he works on, like outside, just outside the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just everything that I know he works on offensively. Like, he literally gonna have to show that shit in this fight, bro. He gonna have to show that shit in this fight. Like that jab, that jab, and that's it. Nah.
I think that's a misconception about the young man Haney. People, I think that's a narrative that's been pushed. Like, that's all he does. He takes away the other opponent's jab. People forget that. He does an overhand right over your jab, and he's so fast with it, with that pull and counter over that jab. He leans back, pow, overhand right over your jab, and that discourages guys from throwing their jab. That's key too, discouraging. Yeah. But also not just one jab. He's gonna double and triple that jab. While Loma doing all of that, Haney gonna keep it out there. Boom, 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 boom. Keep that out there. He's gonna measure with it. He's going to keep the distance with it. He's going to control the range. And that's why I think is going to be the biggest thing. He's going to get up on them cars early. And he's going to discourage Loma from coming in. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and usually with guys that have an elite jab, that right hand over the top just comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? You take a guy like Tommy Hearns back in the day, man. I still think he has a top 10 jab, like in boxing history. You know what I'm saying? Any guy that has a great jab, that counter over the top is coming. That's just a part of each guy's arsenal that has a great jab. A lot of them have that counter over the top, so that just comes with it. The one thing that I will say about Haney is, and it's no fault of his, the reason why they're pushing that narrative is because his jab is that great. I don't think people are pushing a narrative like in a negative way. I just think his jab is that good. Like, I think he has a top 5 jab in the sport. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people are pushing a narrative because they're trying to be negative. You know what I'm saying? I think they're really like highlighting his jab. He has a really, really good jab. And he done had a jab his whole career. Great jab. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
And his jab and his judgment of distance is the 2 reasons why he's unified right now. Just off of those 2 things alone, he's that good at both of them. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that, bro?
I couldn't agree more. But when I hear the complaints about this fight, I took a survey. It's on my community tab. When you get a chance, Jeff, go over there and look at that community tab. When I ask people, are they going to buy the fight? You would not believe how many people are saying, I don't care nothing about this fight. I just want to see Spence versus Crawford. Some people still don't care. They mad at the whole sport of boxing. Like, I'm not buying nothing because y'all didn't give me this fight when I wanted it. Then you see people saying it's not worth $59.99. But you guys complain about Tank versus Ryan being $100, and nothing was on the line for that. That was a lightweight contest. This is for undisputed future Hall of Famer versus an undisputed champion. This fight matters. This fight is gonna shape the landscape for the 135, 140 division, probably for the next 5 to 10 years. Because what happens here decides where the trajectory of Devin Haney, or if Loma is able to pull it off, wow, we already knew he was great. But this guy's going to be an all-time great. He's going to cement his legacy. He's going to be everything we thought he was. Or either Devin Haney's going to show us he's everything he said he was. See what I did there?
Yes, sir.
Devin Haney still has something to prove to a lot of people, even though he's undisputed. So people are complaining about the fight and saying, well, fuck, I'm gonna steal the fight. I'm gonna stream the fight. Like, oh my God, you gonna steal the $60 fight, but you complain about the $100 fight, and then you still bought that one anyway. And the argument for Tank Davis is, well, he's a big star. He's a big star. He ain't never fought no Lomachenko. He never fought this caliber of a breed before, man. And this guy, Loma, is special. I believe Devin Haney is special. He's gonna have to show it on Saturday. But people are complaining about the jabs, this excessive jabs. I'm not gonna pay to see him. I said excessive jabs. Never heard of it. What is excessive jabbing? That's not a thing in boxing.
That's a fact, bro.
But it's your narrative that you like. Well, the fight gonna be boring. Well, if the fight is boring, it's two people in there. What is Loma doing to make it boring? Why is he not making it more exciting?
Right.
So that's they complaining about this fight already, bro.
I've been kind of out of the loop with that. I'll definitely check that out after the show. But the fact that people are actually complaining about the fight, I don't even understand the logic with that. Like, if you don't like the style matchup, I'm like Loma's rarely in a boring fight. Even if he's whooping ass, like it's an entertaining ass whooping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like Loma's gonna bring something to the table to where Haney's gonna have to engage. So I actually think this is gonna be a good action fight. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of just goes against what people opinions are. Like, so if you're pissed off about the fight and you're saying that, oh, well, Haney throws excessive jabs, G5 Jeff TV and Mark Nash is actually telling you that a jab alone is not going to work in this fight. Like, we're telling you that it's not going to work in this fight. A jab and a jab alone is not going to work. It's not going to beat Loma. I don't care how much bigger he is. It's not going to beat Loma. Like, Haney's going to have to bring more to the table offensively, period. And it's such a great test because it's going to test Haney's footwork. It's going to test Haney's foot speed. It's going to test his location of the jab. And that's important too, because a lot of times Haney throws a jab and he almost knows he's going to land it because guys ain't moving their head. He's dealing with a guy that's moving their head and their feet. So now he got to locate that jab. You understand what I'm saying? You got to locate that jab. And on top of that, the thing I like about Loma can get his offense off at any launching point. He can get it off at any launching point. He can get it off. He can start his combination off with a hook. He can start it off with an uppercut. He can start it off with a 45 shot. He can start his combinations off with a body shot. Where does Haney start his combinations off 9 times out of 10? It starts with a jab and it ends with a jab. So there's probably more predictability with Haney than it is with Loma. So I want people to explain to me, what does Haney need to do offensively, like specifically, like to win this fight against Loma? Because he's going to have to do something different than what he usually does in a typical Haney fight. Like, what you thinking?
I disagree.
Why?
I think he got to do what he do. Go in there and be the best Devin Haney. Control the range, control the distance. Loma's gonna try to have to get in there. And I really believe Loma's that jab that we were saying he's gonna need more than that to win the fight. He's gonna win them early rounds with that jab. Rounds 1, 2, and 3. I got Haney going in there like, wow. People are gonna be like, oh, this is boring. It's gonna be boring because he's gonna make the guy look average. I believe the kid Haney is everything he said he was, and controlling that distance, let Loma burn all that energy, doing all of this, all of that, all the head movie, the herky jerky stuff, the feints. Now, definitely, it's a lot of mental pressure though, dealing with a guy who's doing that. But I think Loma's got more power than a lot of people give him credit for too. He's not a Tank Davis knockout artist, but he has deceptive power. But that jab of Haney and controlling that distance is going to make Loma have to take chances in the mid to late rounds, and that's when that overhand right is going to come in over him.
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if Loma puts an emphasis on the first 4 rounds. Because Haney's one of the best fighters in the world at winning rounds. Like he's top 5 in winning rounds. Like he has such a consistent style during the course of 3 minutes. It's really hard to get around from him. So I'll definitely meet you in the middle with that. Because traditionally speaking, you would think Haney's going to get the first 3-4 rounds. Haney's the worst person to go down 3-0, 4-0 against. It's
Come
the worst.
on.
The worst. By line.
And he got a gas tank too. The kid don't get tired.
He got a gas tank. He got a gas tank. He don't really get tired. I think Loma's got a pretty good gas tank too. I haven't really seen Loma like gassed. You know what I'm saying? But the first 4 rounds is really gonna tell me the whole fight. It's gonna tell me the whole fight. Like if Loma thinks he can give up the first 3-4 rounds and just turn up and think he's gonna win this fight, he's sadly mistaken. It's gonna go exactly the way Mark Nash just said. Now, if somehow them first 4 rounds go down, Mark, and we're at 2-2, we talking. We talking.
Yeah.
At that point, that first 4 rounds is really gonna be key. You know what I'm saying? It's really gonna be key. Let me get in these comments real quick, bro. Brennan said, I believe for Tank Davis, Haney is the easier fight for him. That Brennan, I couldn't disagree more, bro. I couldn't disagree more. But I'm gonna tell you why real quick. The one thing Tank doesn't want to see is an athletic young guy with a great jab. That
Say it again. Say it again, Jeff.
The worst thing that Tank Davis or any power guy wants to see is a young athletic guy with a great jab. They don't want to see that. And they can judge distance too. Now you talking about a boring fight. Now that one would be a boring fight.
Hey, look, and he already got the best of him when he was younger. Less experience, hadn't even blown all the way. He got the best of Tank already when he was a young Devin Haney. He ain't scared of Tank Davis like these other dudes.
No, not at all. Like, and the only thing Tank could really go on, Tank has the hope that Devin Haney just wants to exchange. It's only shot. Like that's the worst fight for Tank. Is Devin Haney. That's the worst fight, bro. Solid. Gabriel Ruiz, he said, honestly, I think Devin just fights his fight, gets his points in the fight, and rolls out, almost like he's disinterested in exchanging with his opponent. So, Gabriel, I'm gonna say this, bro. When you have a jab that dominant, and you can control distance the way Devin Haney can control distance. The thing about it is, when you know that's all you need to win most fights, you really got to make it up in your mind. Like, all right, I'm going to show them this out the toolbox. I'm going to show them that out the toolbox. And I don't think Devin's fought anyone to force him to pull the tools out the toolbox. Like, if Loma is, I would say after 6 rounds, if he's either 3-3 or 4-2, Devin Haney going to have to show us some tools in the back half of that fight. He's going to have to show us the tools in the back half of the fight. Because I will say this, Loma is one of the best back half fighters in the sport. I will give him that. I will definitely give him that. But versus a guy that's younger with a good gas tank, we going to see. You know what I mean? Them first 4 rounds is going to be key. Them first 4 rounds is going to be key, you know, for Devin Haney. He got to bag him. He got to bag them first 4 rounds. He has to bag them. But Jermaine Ortiz bagged the first 3. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine Ortiz bagged the first 3.
Jermaine Ortiz had never been 12 rounds before.
And let me tell you, you probably heard me say this. He was supposed to bring in Rob Acosta. That's Boots Ennis old strength and conditioning coach. And some behind the scenes stuff just couldn't get worked out, the business for that to happen. It cost him. It cost him. When I say Rob Acosta is the real deal, he is the real deal. And I ain't just saying because of Boots. Like, he is the real deal. You know what
I
I'm
need to
saying?
reach out to him. I might want to interview him. I need to reach out
Yeah,
to him.
Rob Acosta. Yeah, Rob Acosta. He's definitely one of the best in the business, man. Big shout out to Rob Acosta. But yeah, he was supposed to work with Jermaine Ortiz for that Loma fight, and it ended up not happening. And it cost him. It cost because he faded
Huh?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wake up.
You know what I'm saying? He really faded. You know what I'm saying? He said, Brennan said, I don't mean nothing by it. I just don't see why people talk about Haney like he is a boxing god. That's all. So, Brennan, so the thing about it, bro, like, and you done been in here plenty of times, bro. Like, when it come down to it, man, like, you have a situation where um you really you're matching up people's styles at the end of the day. Devin Haney has one of the toughest styles to deal with. Just throughout the sport of boxing, boxing history proves that a guy that understands distance and a guy that has a great jab is a very hard check. Is a extremely hard check. When I'll give you an example. When Landy Lara was in his prime, nobody wanted to fight him because of those same two attributes. He understood distance and he had a great jab. It's
And it
hard to
was a
get to them.
southpaw.
And he was a southpaw. It's hard to get to them dudes, whether they orthodox or southpaw. Southpaw just makes it worse. You know what I'm saying? Southpaw just makes it worse. And Laura had some pop. You couldn't just run up on Landy Lara like that. You know what I'm saying? He said, Brennan said, I got the Tank fight because he is one of my favorite fighters, but I don't like Loma or Haney because of their characters. The thing about it, bro, like you need a little bit of spice, to your boxers. You know what I mean? Because if they was just plain James, bro, like nobody gonna pay them no mind. Nobody will pay him no mind, like, you know what I mean? So you gotta have a little spice to it. Wilton Henry, big shout out to you, bro. He said this is the best fight in the best, no frills and BS. If you are a true fan, this is a great fight. I couldn't agree more, bro. Couldn't agree more. When it comes down to it, these are two great fighters. And I don't think I've ever said like the first 4 rounds is gonna determine so much. It's gonna determine about 80% of this fight. It's gonna determine about 80% of this fight because if Loma is 4-4 after 8, Haney's never been in the back half of a fight where he gotta turn up to win the fight.
Exactly.
Now, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. But see, it's up to Loma to win them early rounds, though. He got to win a couple. He can't go into round 9 down 6-2. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Haney gonna play prevent defense, and it's gonna be a wrap. He's gonna win like 8-4, possibly 9-3. I'm so curious about this fight, bro. Like, I'm really, really curious about this fight, man. And I think people don't realize how great of a fight this is. Not only because of the significance, but the styles. You can really go at this a lot of different angles. Because I feel like if it wasn't like a significant size difference, you had just as many people saying Loma can win this fight. I think a lot of people are saying Loma's gonna lose this fight because he's simply the smaller guy. You know what I'm saying?
Which makes no sense because he's beating bigger guys. He's beating several guys that's at 140 now.
Facts. So that's why I was just like, the size alone is not gonna be it. Like, but it's like Haney. First of all, Haney can't afford to have a B night. He can't have a B level performance. B level performance not gonna beat Loma. Like, he gonna have to have an A performance, and he gonna have to show us something new out that tool bag. He gonna have to show us something new out that tool bag, because 1s and 2s usually don't work with Loma. 1s and 2s alone don't work with Loma. Like, when Teofimo was getting off, like, he was decisive when he was getting off offensively. Even Jermaine Ortiz, when he was getting off, very decisive offensively. You have to be decisive against Loma when you're getting off offensively, and you got to throw more than 2. It got to be 3s, 4s, and 5s. Be decisive. Get back on your stick. You know what I'm saying? But when have you seen Haney? you don't really see him a lot of times really ripping off 4 or 5 shots in a row unless he got his guy in trouble. So I'm kind of curious about that too. You know what I'm saying?
Loma has a tendency to go into that high guard too,
Exactly,
and let you finish
bro.
you. He want to take turns. He's
That's what I'm
not gonna
talking
try to
about.
punch in between the shot like a Bud Crawford
That's a
would.
fact, bro. Like, and that's exactly why I said that, bro. That's exactly why I said that. You can get 4 or 5 shots off on Loma most of the time because he's gonna let you finish and then he's gonna try to get his off. A lot of times he's not throwing with you in the pocket. That's the
Right.
misconception on Loma. People think he's doing that. He's not doing that often. When he does it, he's effective. Make that real clear.
Another
He
thing
don't
with
do it
Loma,
often.
you can't go in the high guard against him.
Hell no, because he's gonna rip off 7-8.
Man, he gonna let him go. He gonna let him go, and he does little veteran things that I think are so dope. He'll reach up and grab your glove down. You know what I'm saying? He'll knock the dude glove down, then hit you. He does that all the time.
You know the thing that's funny, and I'm glad you said that, bro, because you see people doing that and it don't work. And this is why them 2-3 shots prior to him doing that, they be the guys that where it don't work, they be headshots. They'll throw 2-3 headshots and then try to pull the guy glove down and try to throw a headshot. I'm like, you just threw 2 or 3 headshots with his glove up. You ain't touched downstairs one time. So Loma gives you those 2-3 little shots. And the thing about Loma that I like, he will throw 2 or 3 headshots to get the body shot that he wants. Haney got to watch out for that too. He got to watch out for that too. Now he's one of the. Now I'm not a huge Broner fan, but Broner does do that when he's on offensively. He will throw 2-3 headshots to get the body shot that he wants, and that's next level type shit offensively. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out as well. But this is a next level fight, bro. This is a next level fight. Like we can go all day, like literally go all day on who can do what. But if Haney gets this win, I mean, you got. I don't know if everyone has him on the list, but he got to be on everybody's list if he beats Loma and beats him like decisively. You got to put him on the list.
I'm sorry, my brother. I think the excuses are already baked into the cake, man. It's not the
Agreed.
bug. It's not a bug. It's the feature. It's like if Loma loses, he was old and Haney was too big. Even though he just fought Jermaine Ortiz and he just fought a bigger guy, he's okay. But also, if Haney goes in there and loses, he got exposed. He was never good in the first place. No, Loma just could be an all-time great.
Yeah.
But you can't win for losing with these dudes. I think some of the negative energy I think Haney gets though is reciprocated from people's disdain for his father. Some people just don't like that guy. They don't like him going on the YouTube runs and doing the panels. And then some guys are probably mad and turned on Haney right now this is a big fight and they ain't showing up to your panel. He ain't bring them to your show or your panel. They probably feel jaded. Like, yo, I've been supporting you, been coming on the show. Then y'all got this big fight, but you're doing interviews with the Pivot, Christina Poncher. You doing them. You're doing Brian Cousin. You do interviews with everybody, but you ain't doing no interviews with us. And they probably feel like we help support you, we help build you up, and now you're not doing the interview with us for this big fight. So
you see it all the time.
So people will get jealous. They'll get mad, and they'll be like, and that shit turns into something else where like, I got to bring you down now. I'm turning against you because I didn't have access to make people turn like assholes.
Yeah, and that's so true, bro. Because it's like, people, but to be honest with you, that highlights who you are. Like it highlights who you are. Like you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a prime example. So Padman McGriff works with Devin Haney now, right? He's worked with the who's who of fighters and was in the Mayweather gym and all that. Like you type up Haney, Padman McGriff in Google, first person you're gonna see is G5 Jeff TV. That's a fact. You feel what I'm saying? Like Padman and I, like we was really like the first platform to actually like build up, you know what I'm saying, the momentum. And then once he got with Devin Haney, he got with Devin Haney. I ain't never hop on the phone with him. It was just like, yo, bro, can you get me a Devin Haney interview? Can you give me a Bill Haney interview? Can you get Church on? Like, I ain't never do none of that. Like, you can ask Padman McGriff that. I'm like, the bond that me and him have, that's just what we have, is on a boxing tip. I'm like, if that situation come around to where I get that interview, or if I get that spotlight, or whatever the case may be, it's gonna happen because it was supposed to happen. A lot of people not thinking like that. I'm like, you're building relationships to get favors. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're building relationships really because we love the sport. And then whatever happens on the back end happens on the back end. There's a lot of people that don't think like that. When you having interviews with Poncher and all of them, those are the main media people. You can't knock a person for doing an interview with the main media people. That's like saying, oh, well, he won't come to G5 Jeff TV, but he gonna jump on ESPN. Of course he's gonna jump on it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's you 100% right on that, but it really highlights the actual media person more so than the actual fighter or, you know, whoever's in the sport that they built that relationship with. Like, you feel what I'm saying, man? But that's kind of the bad thing about being in this media space. Like, we're in the minority, bro. We'll always be in the minority. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'll go to Bozy in his gym and be in there for 3-4 hours, no camera. No camera. No camera. I ain't asked for no interview, nothing. I'm just in there. You're not gonna, we're in the minority, bro. Like, we are in the minority. You know what I'm saying? There's no way some of these dudes go into a gym like that and they don't pull the camera out. You feel what I'm saying? That's the difference between me and you and a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying there's anything wrong with pulling the camera out. That's cool. But a lot of people build relationships for what they can get. I'm like, if that's your vibe, cool. But I'm like, you can't get mad if you get caught too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get mad if you get caught and they like, oh, I know you coming here just for a specific purpose. It ain't because of me. It ain't because of whatever. And that's just, we getting a lot of that. You know, we getting a lot of that, you know, at the end of the day. I mean, I got a connection to Devin Haney. Like, Padman, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my guy. But I don't use my connection to try to just get all of this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just where we at, man. But I agree with you 100%, man. A lot of people be mad and they'll throw dirt, throw shade for that reason. You'll DM a person and be like, hey, can I get this interview? Boom, 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 boom. 15 minutes, I have you in and out. And they don't respond to you for a couple days because they in camp or whatever. And 2 days later, they on the YouTube snapping on them just for that reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's people weird, bro. Like, people was like hella weird. Like,
it's entitlement. Like I said, it's entitlement.
Facts.
They feel like we've been a part of your career. We've been supporting you and building you up for XYZ. You should do this for me. You know, it's entitlement. But also, like I said, some of these dudes, their daddy ain't never took them to the corner store. This guy's dad took him to the mountaintop. I hear Paulie Malignaggi talk about it one time. He was like, how does he get these kind of contracts? He didn't have to sign a long-term deal. Like, everywhere I had to sign a long-term deal. Like, some of us didn't have daddy with the silver spoon, you know, got in our career. I was like, oh, you sound jealous. You're not even talking about boxing anymore. You're not talking about what the man does in the ring. You're jealous that he's out here with Rolls Royces and mansions, and he has his own promotion, and he's the co-promoter of all of these events. His name is right there when you look it up, right beside Bob Arum. You don't see Lomachenko there. You didn't see a lot of these guys' name beside. You don't see Shakur Stevenson. You know, you don't see Bomb Squad on a lot of them things. You get what I'm saying? You'll see Tom Brown, and Devin Haney is just out here moving different. And I think the kid he's the type of guy you should get behind. He lives a clean boxing lifestyle, stays out of trouble. He's not getting DUIs. He's not in court for assaulting people or assaulting women at that. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't me taking shots at nobody. These are the facts.
Yeah, it's a fact.
There's no DUIs. Hey, look, he's staying healthy. Not okay. I broke my hand over here, and or I got hurt my leg over here. Like, man, he's fighting. And he's fighting and he's fighting. He's staying healthy. He's not missing weight.
Right.
He's making weight. His
Right.
fights ain't getting canceled for other stuff. COVID-19 found a way not to get COVID. Well, other fighters fight was getting canceled because of COVID. All of these things are why you should support the guy. What's wrong with supporting the dude
Yeah.
who's doing everything the right way?
And this in sports, you always had that one guy that just does everything right, but people hate on him because
No
they do
PED
everything right.
allegations neither. No PED allegations. Add that to it.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like because the thing with Haney is, first of all, big shout out to Bill Haney. And I'm gonna tell you why I say a big shout out to Bill Haney. Because this thing could have went completely left a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So
What you mean? What you mean this thing? You talking
as
about the
far as
fight, this
I'm
fight, or
talking
his
about
career?
I'm talking about his career.
Yeah.
Could have went left a couple times. I'll give you a prime example. Devin Haney had a fight in Philly, right? He had a fight in Philly at a 2300. It was a main event fight, showbox, years ago. And this was technically the last time you seen Mayweather Sr. in the corner with Devin Haney. So what happened was Senior came to the city, right? He came to the city and he thought he was going to basically work the corner for Devin Haney. And this was around the time Senior was making his rounds, saying he did this, did that with Haney. Us on the inside, we was like, damn, it sounded like he trying to take credit for him. So when that fight happened in Philly, Bill Haney had Mayweather Sr. sitting on the side like he was a corner man, like he was a cut man. He ain't let him get in the ring. He ain't let him stand in front of Haney in between those rounds. He took that. You know what I'm saying? But Mark, you know the Mayweathers. Like if you get them an opportunity to steal some shine, they will. And Bill Haney said, we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But then when the Kambosos fight happened, right? The Kambosos fight happened, the first fight, and the whole situation where he couldn't get out there initially. He got nothing but OGs with him. Yoel Judah, Padman McGriff. And people know Church because of, you know what I'm saying, his personality, but Church he's been in the game for so long. Bill Haney's not afraid to put the guys that he need to put in position for his son's success. And that's where you got to give Bill Haney the ultimate props. And that's where a guy like Paulie, when he says the things that he says, like he's not, first of all, he's not portraying the whole picture. But then on top of that, you could tell there's a little bit of disdain towards these guys because he couldn't get the deals that these guys are getting. He couldn't get the opportunities that these guys is getting. Paulie talked his way to all his paydays. Like,
yeah, funny haircuts and pink and green hair, all kind of weird stuff.
He had to go through all types of things to get himself to a level to where other guys will give him an opportunity. I respect Paulie because he created his lane. He created his lane to get him paid. Because if you go just off of his physical boxing ability and his physical boxing style, he had one of the worst styles in history. If people complained about Devin Haney and his jab, go watch an old Paulie Malignaggi fight. Mark, am I lying?
Come on now. Go watch an old Klitschko. Hey, look, watch a Klitschko fight.
Watch an old Klitschko fight. And I'm talking Klitschko during his run.
Oh, yeah. He was jab, grab, hold.
Yeah, jab.
And eventually he'll knock you out eventually, maybe he won't. But most of the time it's jab and grab.
Mr. Jab and grab. You know what I'm saying? And the thing
Hall of Famer. Never forget that. He is a Hall of Famer, too.
Hall of Famer. He dominated an era. Even though it was a lower level heavyweight era, he dominated an era. I'm going to give him that. And the thing about Paulie is I can be real and give props at the same time. Paulie made it really far in his career, even though he was very limited physically. Very limited. You know how hard it is to go into a fight and guys know you can't hurt them and you only have one effective punch? So for Paulie to craft out the career that he did, much salute to him.
Two-time champion.
Yeah. So I'm like, with that, I mean, bro, that's like you being in a street fight and you know this dude can't crack an egg. You're gonna try to walk him down. It takes a certain amount of boxing ability to be successful with that physical talent not being there. So it's much respect to Paulie Malignaggi. I'm not taking shots at Paulie Malignaggi, but because of how he built his career and how he got to the money that he got to and the opportunities, you would think he would have a better understanding or actually explain things more intellectually when it comes down to the Devin Haneys of the world and things like that. I feel like Paulie can't say a lot of things because he defied the odds. A guy with no power is not supposed to be in there with Miguel Cotto on a pay-per-view on HBO. Not
Come
supposed to
on
be
now.
there. He's not supposed to have a fight with Zab Judah and all these other guys. He's not supposed to be there. He defied the odds. So I'm like, why are you pushing a negative narrative towards some of these young kids that's actually crafting it the right way?
The key thing he said though, daddy with that silver spoon. He was talking about most of us didn't have daddy with our silver spoon. We had to sign long contracts. We won't get in a short contract here and a short contract there. Devin Haney out here moving independently, like a boss should. But he also learned from the people that came before him, and he learned from his peers. He see his peers locked into long-term contracts. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Oh, he's been over there with Showtime. He did stuff with Eddie and Metro. Then he's over there doing stuff with Top Rank. He's watching the game. He's seeing, okay, who's going to be the co-promoter for me right here? Who we going to do business with? How you going to place me out here? What are we doing 24/7? All that. So how we promoting? Hey, look, had his own camera crew following him for years. They building the Devin Haney documentary as we speak. They've been filming it for years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this kid is just doing things differently, and people just don't like it. Paula wasn't making millions when he was 24 years old like this.
No, not at
And
all.
so it's content, man. It's content.
I'll put it to you like this. And this a mic drop. Now, I think Paulie's first pay-per-view fight was against Cotto, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna put it to you like this. The amount of money Devin paid Padman McGriff after the first fight with Kambosos is more money than Paulie made per fight before he got the Cotto fight.
Wow.
I'm stamping that. So this kid is getting to it. Like he's getting to it. But I'm like, how can you hate on that? Floyd went through a bunch of this. And people pick and choose their battles. Floyd went through this. He had a long-term contract. He's the one that had a contract with Jay Prince. That last fight didn't happen. Jay Prince was expecting a certain amount of money off of that fight. He didn't get it. We all know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? We all know what happened. So let's not act like Floyd had Al all his career. Floyd ain't have Al all of his career. You know what I'm saying? Floyd worked a long time to get to the Al Heyman point to where he became Money Mayweather. That's a fact.
It's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like people just pick and choose who they like and who they don't like when they boss up. Devin Haney's 24 and bossed up. And he's been bossed up. And I'm like, you can't blame a kid for bossing up. You see too many situations where guys are actually, they don't control their careers. They don't control their money. Like Devin Haney been betting on himself his whole career. When he went out to Mexico before he could even fight in the States because of his age. He betting on himself. Bro, you know you go outside of the States, there's a chance you're going to get robbed. And Haney ain't cracking shit like that neither. You can't hate on him. At all. Like, you can't hate on him at all. Like, I don't know if Haney will ever get to like a Floyd type status, but he done set the groundwork just like Floyd. He got his hand in everything. Like, you're not going to make a whole bag off of me and I'm not going to have my hand in it.
Come on now.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it's just I just hate when people pick and choose these spots. I'm like, they'll say, "Oh well, Floyd this, Floyd that, Floyd this." Yeah, all that's cool, but I'm like, he was fighting in front of a regular crowd when he was fighting Emmanuel Augustus. You understand what I'm saying? This was,
Yeah,
this was,
that was a homecoming fight too. That was him
yeah,
going back to the crib.
yeah. Come on. Like, people don't mention the Emmanuel Augustus fight. People don't mention the Angel Man Freddy fight. People don't mention his first fight at 140 against Chop Chop Corley. Ain't nobody talking about that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody talking about that. Everybody that have a bullshit opinion about the sport and how guys need to be moving as far as fighters, they probably ain't started watching boxing until after Floyd signed with Al.
Come on, man.
Like, and I can't, I can't even talk to half these people. I can't even talk to half these people. Like, because it's literally people I'm like, Floyd might be the only person in the sport that had 2 Hall of Fame careers. 2 of them. 2 of them. Shit like Kobe, bro. Kobe was a Hall of Famer when he had number 8, and he had a Hall of Fame career when he had 24. Floyd had a Hall of Fame career when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He had a Hall of Fame career when he became Money Mayweather. Like,
Yeah.
just Al,
And they called him
just put him in
boring
a
the whole
position.
time. Like, and I was telling somebody that the other day, I was like, we seen this before. It was like different fighter, same narrative. He's boring. He can't sell. And I was like, they said it about Floyd. It was like, no, not Pretty Boy Floyd. I was like, they called Pretty Boy boring at times too. They were saying he ain't fighting nobody. And then he go in there and whoop Corrales, dominant, stops him. It was crickets. Many people just act like it didn't happen. Like, and just, well, who's next? You get what I'm saying? Well, you can't beat this guy. And they was like, well, he fought Shane and Oscar Lake. He had been calling him out early in his career. He was chasing Oscar up the divisions constantly. I want Costa Zoo, I want Shane Mosley, I want Oscar De La Hoya. I heard Oscar De La Hoya's going to 147. I want to fight Oscar De La Hoya. And Floyd was like at 140, talking about I want to fight Oscar De La Hoya at 147. Let's go.
Yeah.
This guy was everything. Look, Andre Ward said he was boring. Boring, can't sell. He's a winner though. Bernard Hopkins, they call him an all-time great now. But because it's revisionist history. But I lived during those times. I was watching boxing then. I didn't just get into boxing, bro. So I remember what they were saying about him. It was times they called Roy Jones boring. Remember that? Roy Jones, this is boring. He's supposed to beat this guy. Why is he not challenging himself? Roy gets credit for beating Ruiz now when he went up there and went to heavyweight. But back then, people was like, man, why he doing this? Why are you doing this? And if you're gonna go up to heavyweight, you should be fighting this guy, not Ruiz. He picked the weakest heavyweight. I was like, but he's still a heavyweight.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
It was just, you can't win for losing.
It's crazy you said that, bro, because I remember watching an interview with Jay Prince, and they had an offer on the table for Roy to fight Tyson. This was after his prison stint, and I think it was like $40 million on the table for Roy Jones, which was a whole lot of money back then. And he just refused to take the fight. And people still criticize him to this day for not taking that fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or taking any other fights at heavyweight. And I'm like, yeah, he fought John Ruiz. He won a title over John Ruiz. Roy couldn't help the fact that John Ruiz was a champion at the time. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I know, Mark, you feel the same way. When you go up to a new division, you got to get acclimated to the weight. Am I correct?
Come on now.
Like, if you're gonna get acclimated to the weight at heavyweight, I'm not fighting no killer at heavyweight in my first. You serious? The only difference is Ruiz had a title. Like, that was it. But the people that criticize Roy Jones for that, I'm like,
if it was so easy, everybody would do it.
If it was so easy, everybody would do it. But then what he ended up doing actually cost him. It actually cost him. Because he's actually going back and forth between heavyweight. He went from heavyweight to light heavy. It ain't normal. It's not normal, bro.
Yeah, it's like 27 pounds, 24 pounds. Yeah.
Not back then. He probably shaved about a good 30 pounds, 30 to 35, the unhealthy way though.
Muscle too. He lost muscle because
Muscle
he
and
was diesel, bro.
bro, and you go back down and you fight Antonio Tarver. Nobody talk about that, bro. He don't get credit for that.
Man, I'm trying to get the Magic Man on the show right now. I emailed him. He agreed and everything. We just got to set the dates up. I'm making the graphics right now, but I was trying to have him on early this month because it was the anniversary of when he beat Roy Jones in their second fight. Yeah, but shout out
Magic,
to Antonio
yeah.
Tarver.
Big shout out to Antonio Tarver, man.
Called him boring too. His career, people called him boring, but he knocked out Roy Jones,
bro. And they said B Hop was boring, but he took Pavlik to the woodshed, and they was promoting Pavlik like he was the next thing coming.
I hate when that thing they said, but they was like B Hop was fighting little guys moving up. I said he moved up too, and he was the little guy. And he was still beating those young guys. That don't make no sense. He moved up to light heavyweight. He wasn't originally light heavyweight and was beating young undefeated champions.
Bro.
So the narratives just be crazy, man.
Bro,
These dudes just started watching boxing. They see a little clip on Ellie setback or something like that, and down they think they got a talking point, but they won't dare. They don't know the history. And then when you challenge them and talk to them about, well, what about when he fought Chad Dawson?
Yeah.
What about when he fought Kelly Pavlik? These guys was bigger guys.
I'm gonna take it back further than that. Bro, he was regularly fighting young dudes that everybody else would pay off to get the fight that they really want. That was the majority of his title defenses. I'm gonna give you a name, bro. I'm gonna give you a name. You know, B-Hop in the city. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting dudes like Antoine Eccles. You know how many people was ducking Antoine Eccles because of that power? And it was like, okay, it's no gain in this fight. All risk, no gain. And he B-Hop line him up. Like if they the mandatory, line them up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like B-Hop won't get credit for Antoine Eccles win. He got two of them actually. Antoine Eccles win, but one of the best action fights you'll ever see is Antoine Eccles and Charles Brewer Sr. Am I lying, bro?
Come on, man.
Am I lying?
Come on, fam.
Am I lying?
These boys want outside back then. They want outside, bro.
Bro, and that's the difference between us coming up and now. And it's crazy. I had this kid, he about 23, 24. I work with him. He's like, yo, G, like, what's the difference between this generation and like your generation? And I'm like, bro, our generation, I was like, we was outside. Even if we was making mistakes, we had to figure it out outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, now everything's internet, everything's virtual. Like it's perceptions that overtakes reality. You know what I'm saying? It's scamming that overtakes reality. It's like this whole generation is built on manipulation. You know what I'm saying? People short-term memories and like people attention spans are short. I said it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's why I was like, I can't even talk boxing with half these people. I can't talk boxing with half these people. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk about like it be to the point, Mark, and I've talked to you plenty of times. We'll know boxing to the point that where we'll get who's going to win and damn near what round.
Man, when I do the fight calls, I'll be saying the shit, and while I'm saying it, you'll hear Paulie or somebody else say it right after me. I'll be like, hey man, you got to start working that jab. Right after that, man, he got to get back to working his jab. Like, I like beautiful overhand right, but he got to keep that guard up. They'll say the same thing. Got to keep the guard up. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know?
I'll be calling that shit spooky. That's why I started my own show, because I used to do that at the fight parties. Bro, they be like, you ruined it for us.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, like and my man, BoxingFirstVlog, big shout out to Vlog. We used to say all the time, like, yo, bro, like they listen to our channels. And they're such assholes to the point to where they won't give us credit, but they listen. I'm gonna tell you how I found out they listen to my channel. Remember when ESPN came out with they tried to do it was with Tim Bradley. They tried to do like a lab coat version, like a lab coat segment.
I remember that. I remember that. They got that over there to the screen.
Bro, I promise you, they got that shit from me, bro. You can go on my channel. I got so many lab coat videos, and we found out people was actually like people up top was watching them joints. So when they came out with it with Tim Bradley, we start calling them out. We was just like, bro, you're not gonna do that and not give credit where credit is due. And they stopped doing it. They stopped. You notice they don't do it no more.
Right. That's proof of concept too.
They don't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy, man. Like it's really crazy where we're at. And it's like you're not even gonna have a conversation like you're getting right now on other channels. That's on this fight, on this particular fight. I ain't been on camera in weeks. And I jump right back into it like it's nothing because I'm like, this is a very important fight. This is a very important fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, people talk about, oh, well, we don't get the fights we want. We don't get the fights we need, this, that, and the third. I'm like, bro, this one has more importance than Ryan Garcia and Tank. Like, period. Like, this is, first of all, this is a better fight. Let me get that clear. Like, this is a better fight.
Let's go.
This is a better fight. This is a better fight, a better style matchup to keep it all the way 100. I'm talking about pure boxing fan. Like, I understand what Tank brings to the table. I understand what he brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? But this is a more important fight. There's more talking points with this fight than it is with the Tank and Ryan fight. That's a fact.
This fight shapes the division.
Does Devin Haney go up if he win?
If he can't get that Tank Davis fight, he will. I think so. And he'll fight the winner between Lopez and Tio.
I think Haney Tank happens.
Me neither. Especially when you hear Calvin Ford already on record a couple weeks back saying, I don't think he should do that fight. We're gonna freeze him out. Or I think he should get froze out or something like that. I was like, wow. Because you and his dad had a little disagreement on the internet. You don't want your fighter to fight this fight. Nah, it's that style. It's that style. And this guy already got one up on your guy. When he was younger, less experience, weaker. This guy's stronger. He's bigger. He's older. He has more experience. He ain't see Tank Davis talking about, yeah, ask them all. I got the best of all of them. That's when they was kids, man. They grown men now. You think the dude who beat me at 16 to 17 could beat me when I was 25? When I came home from the army? Bro, nigga didn't want to see me. He would cross across the street when he saw me. If it was on like that, if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I could have did him any kind of way dirty. Because I ain't no 15, 16-year-old kid no more, dude.
Talk to him.
And it'll get bad for you. You get what I'm saying? Not to mention living that clean life. No drinking, no smoking. Ain't even eating no pork. Come on now. Tank Davis on all of that. Drinking, bacon. You know what I'm saying? Yellow dye 5 and red 5 and yellow 40, all kind of stuff. Come on, man. Like, this kid Devin is just different. I'm doing a lie. He's gonna beat this boy on Saturday, and it's gonna be a glorious day, man. Mark my words, man.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like Haney's gonna win this fight. I just want people to bring up some of the things that Loma can do to actually win this fight. You know what I mean? If you had to give Loma advice on how to win this fight, what advice you giving him?
Don't show up. Don't show up. I don't see him beating this guy, man. He's not gonna he's not better than what he was before. Is he better now than when he fought Tio? Because he's 3 years older.
No, he's not.
And I think Devin Haney is a better fighter than Teofimo Lopez. I think he has a better ring IQ, better jab, better control of distance, better footwork. He can lead with his head. He ain't lunging in. And if Tio could beat him 3 years ago, Devin gonna beat him even easier on Saturday. Mark my words, bro. I don't think he's better than when he fought Teofimo Lopez. We saw him fight Jermaine Ortiz not too long ago. Still, slow start. Jermaine Ortiz was piecing him up. And Jermaine Ortiz was a former sparring partner. Ain't never even went 12 rounds before. But he was getting the best of Loma a lot of times. Devin gonna do that and more.
Yeah, Devin need to run that Jermaine Ortiz tape first 4 or 5 rounds for sure.
Hell yeah. But look, man, I got to slide, man. I appreciate you having me on the episode, man. This means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to my audience when they see me over here chopping it up with the big dogs, man.
Hey man, big shout out to you, bro, man. I get with you, man. I'm a shoot me the link for the community joint too, man, so I can jump on that.
Okay. Yeah. All you gotta do is go to the channel, and it just be right
Okay.
there on the tab. You know, the
All
channel
right.
tab right there,
Yeah, I
and you'll
got you.
see community live video, click community tab, and you'll see like the survey up there, and you'll see it's over 150 votes. But most people, and when you read those comments, man, oh my God, you realize it's like it's personal stuff. It ain't got nothing to do
Bro,
with boxing, dog.
I'm getting to it right after the show, man. But I appreciate you jumping on, man. Much love to you, bro.
All right, God bless you, God bless your family, and thanks again for having me on, bro. Peace.
Appreciate you, family. Appreciate you. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, my bad, y'all. My bad. Big shout out to Mark Nash, man. The ice cream truck is literally in front of my crib, like it's crazy. Brennan Smith, I want Loma to win just because I want Loma versus Tank. That'd be a crazy fight, bro. Like that'd be a crazy fight. Wilton Henry, Loma has trouble against big lightweights that are athletic. T.O. and Ortiz gave him fits. I ain't knocking it, bro. Andre Southgate said here listening. Big shout out to you, Andre Southgate, man. But definitely go subscribe to Andre Southgate channel, man. Definitely putting in good work. Brennan said Haney has no chin and no power. Just my opinion. Why you don't think he has a chin? Because I hope you're not talking about that Linares shot. That's just gonna happen, bro. He didn't go down off of it. He had a stanky leg, but I mean that just comes with the territory in boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? T. Finney with Tank on home detention for 90 days. Will we see him in the ring again before the year is up? Salute to him for fighting twice this year in the span of 3 months. Facts, bro. Facts. That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. I think they're gonna try to get one in like October, something like that. This truck is killing me, bro. He must know I'm recording. Andre Southgate agreed. Loma always brings it in the second half of the fight. Yeah, Andre, that's what I was saying, man. It's gonna be really important to see what he actually does, in the first half of the fight. You feel what I'm saying? What does he do in the first half of the fight? If it's close in the first half of the fight, he got a shot. Wilton Henry, so far, the biggest problem I've had with Devin is sometimes he takes too many chances after he gets ahead to please the crowd. Linares and the second Cambosis fight. How do I feel about that? I don't think he was taking a chance in the Linares fight. I just think he just made a simple error. You know what I'm saying? I just think he made a simple error. So if you run back that sequence, he literally, the reason he got caught with the shot is because he was doing this, and what he did is he put his hand up like this, and he should have had it like this. Like when he was doing this thing like this, his final hand was the opposite way, and that's why he got caught. So when he's throwing the shots and he's blocking shots, he should have been blocking. He should have blocked like this, and he blocked like this. But Linares was this way, so his whole face was open. Like he literally just got his hand, like his hand coordination just got off for like a second. You feel what I'm saying? But I understand what you're saying, though. I definitely understand what you're saying. Brennan Smith, I believe people love Haney for his politics. What you mean by that, bro? What you mean by that? Andre Southgate, haven't seen Haney with too many southpaws. This is Haney's hardest fight for sure. Loma is a great fighter. Both have great skills. I I'm telling you, bro, first 4 rounds gonna be the key, man. If Loma can get even, if he can go 2-2, or even first 6 rounds 3-3, or possibly be up after 6, Haney gonna have to show me something. Like, people want to see Haney out of his comfort zone. Like, he's literally got the undisputed being in his comfort zone. Like, and that's credit to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's credit to him. Like, for sure. Like, that's credit to him. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Let me see. Brennan Smith, I believe people love Haney for his politics, not for his boxing skills, but just my opinion. What do you mean by that? Like, I'm kind of confused. Like, what do you mean by that? Andre Southgate said, this is a great fight. This is a hell of a fight, bro. Hell of a fight. He said, this is the real undisputed fight. A lot more competitive. Haney needs a name like Loma on his resume. Loma is a great fighter. Agreed. 100%. I'm so mad. This truck in front of my crib right now. Nasty ass ice cream and shit. Mabuki Sage, big shout out to you. He said, you seen Andy Cruz, Gomez, and Boozy Gym yet? I'll make a trip there next month to support my Cuban brother. I have not seen him actually in the gym, but of course I got connections with the gym, of course. I don't know, hit me up, bro. Like if you definitely swinging down here, we'll definitely line it up. I'll definitely excuse me, I'll definitely swing down there with you, for sure. Like, why not? People don't like Devin because of Bill's shenanigans. But the thing is, though, that's good promotion, though. It's good promotion. People ain't like Danny Garcia because of his dad. You know what I'm saying? And you need that from a fighter that doesn't really talk that much. Danny ain't used to talk back then. Danny's more, Danny talks more now. You understand what I'm saying? He talks more now, but not, not back then. Like, hell no. Andre Southgate got to respect Haney for flying over the ditch to fight for Undisputed, calling out the big names. No excuses, no delays. Great champion. Let's see if he can beat Loma. It's going to be a hard fight. It's going to be a difficult fight for Devin Haney. But if he's great, he'll get through it. Sage says, I have seen Paulie give Devin a lot of credit many times. It only went left when Bill started taking shots. Yeah, and that's usually how it goes. One person takes shots and the other one gonna fire shots back. That's how it goes. But I think Paulie probably had a conversation with Bill behind the scenes. A lot of times conversations happen behind the scenes and they just won't say it on camera. Sage said Bill started attacking Paulie first. Paulie Ben said Dev one of the best out since he wasn't even a champ. Yeah, I think, bro, when a disagreement happens in the social media space, it's going to get out of control and then the fire going to get put out behind the scenes, but you'll never hear about how the fire got put out. You know what I mean? I guarantee you they done talked already. Guarantee it. Said Miguel was Paulie's 22nd pro fight. Cambosis was Devin's 28th pro fight. Weird comparison. So I was talking about two different things with Paulie and Cambosis. What I was saying about Paulie is Paulie had to do a lot of things that Devin didn't do to get to the Cotto fight. Like, he promoted himself very well. So I don't think it was a weird comparison. What I was trying to compare is actually the opposites. Like, Paulie had to get to where he was because he had to do a lot of things to promote himself and put himself in position. Devin Haney, he didn't have to do that as much. Like, he had to like stay the course. So the comparison was to show the differences, if that makes any sense. Say to every single world champ contender from overseas comes to the US all the time. So I don't see the issue and why we need to give Dev so much credit for fighting a champ in the champ backyard. So Sage, I'm assuming you're from Cuba because you said Andy Cruz. You mentioned Andy Cruz. So it's the reason why we say that, bro, is because fighters in the U.S. they do not like to travel because they're afraid of getting robbed on the cards. So that's why when guys do it, they'll usually get credit for it. But it's not really the risk that they're taking is really just the history of boxing. Usually, guys that travels to other guys' hometowns, you can't really leave it on the cards. So for Haney to do that, and then he's not a power guy neither, like you do, it kind of goes against the trend. You know what I mean in the states. So that's why he gets credit a lot of times. Chris G, he became his own promoter in the US around 18, 19, and he was his own promoter in Mexico at 17. That's a fact. 100% facts. Big shout out to my boxing son. Chris G, I remember when it was news when Haney got his own promotional license. Facts again. Facts again. T. Finney, he said, let's see. He said, speaking of Danny, what you think of him and Laura supposedly on August 5th? I'm gonna keep it a stack, man. I think that's gonna be an entertaining fight. Because when people think of Arislandi Laura, they think of Arislandi Laura like back in the day when it was jab, jab, movement, keep the distance. Like Laura's not really fighting like that anymore. Like he's more of an in the pocket guy. Like he'll swing with you. He's more fan friendly now than he ever was. So I actually think that's going to be a solid fight. And I think it's one of those fights. I think if Laura just wanted to keep it on the stick and just move, he can make it a real easy fight for himself. But Laura hasn't made fights easy for himself in a while. Like he's really sitting there in the pocket, really, you know, really going for his. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be a solid fight, man. But it's slim pickings at 54, man. Slim pickings at 54, man. Like I'd have never thought Laura and Danny Garcia would be like a top 4 or 5 fight at 154. Like just regular thinking, I'm thinking like that ain't no good fight. But compared to what else is going on at 54, man, it's a solid fight for 154. I mean, it's a solid fight for 154. Brennan Smith said Haney talks a lot about his religion and politics, or it's the LBC and calling Loma a racist one time. So, Brennan, here's the thing, bro. Like, what Haney is doing because Haney is a promoter, right? He's a promoter now. Like he's basically self-made in a sense. A lot of the things that he says and does is really to promote. Like it's really to promote, and people just take it how they take it. So just like you feel a certain way about certain things that Haney says and does, there's some people that like it. But the thing is, are you watching? Are you listening? Are you paying attention? And that's you can't be a boring out entrepreneur. Like you have to be controversial in a sense, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So you know, um, it just comes with the territory, bro. Like it just comes with the territory, man. Like, but I think for Haney to win this fight, Haney he never forgets his jab. But I have to say it. Haney has to be on point with his jab. Like I said, I don't have to tell him that. Like he has to be on point with his jab, and I'm talking about not only to land, but as a range finder. Like he has to find Loma with the jab. He has to find Loma with the jab. And once he finds Loma with the jab, then he needs to make sure that his hooks and everything is on point. Number two, he don't have to end every combination with a jab. I think he's going to need to go to the body a little bit, really like mix it up, because if Loma is on his A+ game as far as his footwork, then Haney's going to have to be A+ as far as his range finding. You understand what I'm saying? So that's going to be interesting as well. And he had an interesting comment, I think yesterday too. He said like he told Loma he was a dirty fighter. So I think he was kind of planting that seed, like, all right, if he start getting on the inside, start doing this, doing that, doing this, I want to give an ear out to the ref or whatever. So I thought that was pretty interesting that he said that. But and I think the third thing with Haney is he has to use his size. He has to use his size. Like he's gonna have to really use his size at some point during this fight and really try to get to get to where he need to be offensively and use his physical strength, use that youth, that he has, because it's no sense in having it if he's not going to use it. So he definitely has to use it. If I'm Loma, it's very simple. Make it an even fight after the first 6. Make it an even fight after the first 6. That's number one. Number two, make sure your footwork is on point. Make sure you're up and down, and make sure you're throwing your jab too. Make sure you're throwing your jab up and down, and make sure your footwork is on point. And the third thing that Loma needs to do is make Haney miss. Ain't nobody talking about that. Make Haney miss. Make him miss and try to make him pay. He said, nice shirt too, bro. Appreciate you, bro. The thing is crazy. Shane used to tell me all the time, like, bro, you ain't got no shirt. You ain't got no shirt. Like, I've been on this show, that show. You ain't got no shirt. I figured I was like, let me put one together real quick. Something, something light. You know what I'm saying? But I think those are the 3 keys for Haney, and those are the 3 keys for Loma. So what I'm gonna do, hopefully Ty Finney do a live show for the Haney fight. And y'all could probably find me on there Saturday after the fight is over. And we could do a post fight. And then I might jump on this channel again Sunday and do a post fight on mine as well. And pretty much take it from there. But man, this been a good show, man. I was hoping my guy would jump on. But I might try to get him on the back end. My guy Randall Bailey. Big shout out to him. I'm gonna have Randall Bailey on the show, man. One of the biggest 140-pound punchers in boxing history. Randall Bailey was cracking. You understand what I'm saying? Really good boxing career. Big shout out to Randall Bailey. You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely have him on. But this is a big fight, important fight. And a lot needs to be discussed in terms of strategy for this fight as well, man. So I'm gonna do a little more homework on this. I'm leaning towards Haney, but I gotta get in the lab. I gotta throw the lab coat on. You know what I'm saying? Watch some film and all that. But listen, man, big shout out to everybody that came in here, man. I don't, because of my work situation, I don't get to do these too often, like I did before. But off top, man, big shout out to VP Shane, man. You know what I mean? It's my little bro. Big shout out to Boxing First Vlog. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend, man. I mean, doing great things on his channel, man. And we're streaming on his channel as well. Big shout out to him. Definitely go subscribe to his channel. Check out his interviews and all that. You know what I mean? But let me just do a roll call real quick. Big shout out to my guy, Brennan Smith, Chris G, Mabuki Sage. Big shout out to you. If you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. Andre Southgate. Big shout out to you, bro. Big shout out to my guy, Mark Nash, man. Held it down. Wilton Henry. Big shout out to you, bro. Big shout out to Gabriel Ruiz. He was in here rocking crazy. Big shout out to Bruce Gas. That's my brother right there. Big shout out to who else we had in here? We had my guy YSM Sports Media. Big shout out to him. Of course, he jumps in. My guy, lay him down. What's up, bro? I can't hear you. Try to come out and come back in. I can't hear you. So my guy, lay him down. Say something real quick, bro. Damn, bro. I can't hear you, bro. Shit. Damn, I can't hear you. You try to come out and come back in, bro. Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy, Lance Layham Down Williams, man. Big shout out to my guy, YSM Source Media, back on the roll call. Brennan Smith, big shout out to you, bro. Always rocking with me for sure. You know what I'm saying? Adrian was in the building, man. L Dub, the plug, was in the building. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to all you guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yo, bro.
G5.
Yo, what's up? Yo,
yeah.
Tree.
What's up,
Yo, Tree always on it. Tree was like, "Tell him to take them damn headphones off." What's up with you, bro?
Man,
You just stepped in the gym.
I'm in the gym right now. Huh? Hold on.
Your signal bouncing back and forth,
Here.
bro. I can hear you, but your signal going in and out.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna step back outside. It's kind of froggy up there in the
Okay.
gym.
Yeah, I can hear
I
you.
just got off work right now. Getting here to the gym.
Okay.
Who
Hey,
you who
bro.
you got?
I got
Yeah.
Haney. I got Haney in the fight, bro. But I think Loma gonna make Haney show us what he got offensively. Everybody just used to seeing the jab and all that. I think Haney gonna really have to get off offensively if Loma's on his game. You know what I'm saying? I like Haney in the fight though.
Okay. I
What
ain't
you
gonna
think?
lie. I see Haney winning, but I can also, man, it's kind of crazy how they pubbing it. Like Lomo old, Haney. Some are saying Haney too young and stuff like that, or no, that Lomo's too old, and how Haney's the young lion that's taking over and stuff. But you gotta sit back and think, how they pub that stuff when it was Floyd versus Canelo. It was complete opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It was complete opposite. So it's like, man, what if What if Lomachenko pulled Floyd? He got the
Yeah.
skill set. He is a pure pugilist. That's a pugilist in the game.
Yeah.
Like Haney, I can't take nothing from him. That's pure talent, major super talent, superstar talent. But Lomachenko almost like a MJ of the game. If you got to pick, is you gonna pick MJ or you gonna pick LeBron?
Yeah. The thing is, bro, like with Loma, I said this earlier, bro. I'm like, everybody's talking about Haney's size. And I'm like, if you watch Haney's fights, like Haney really don't use his size to really bully dudes. Size
No,
don't
no,
mean
no,
anything unless you're going to use it and actually bully your opponent. Haney don't
no.
bully
Yeah,
his opponents.
he not
Like,
like a Errol Spence.
right. So it's like all I'm hearing is that Devin Haney's too big for Loma. But I'm like, in the next breath, I'm like, y'all saying Haney can't crack an egg. The
Yeah, I
size
know.
don't mean that. The size, correct me if
Size
I'm
don't mean
wrong. I'm
nothing.
like, size don't mean nothing if you ain't cracking. You know what I'm saying? If you're not cracking like that, and I'm
Yep,
like, nobody's ever really got off on Loma like offensively, like really got
true.
off on him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Devin Haney's gonna have to be on his A game to
Mhm.
beat Loma, but I think Haney gonna be on his A game now.
I hope.
I think he's
I
gonna be
hope
on his A
so.
game.
I'm rooting for Haney. I got to root for my brother, man. First off, but also, it's America. You- when people gonna start doing like back in the day when it was America versus another country and America always backed their fighters.
Yeah, yeah, 100% facts, bro. Like that's the thing. Like, so you have so many, Americans actually supporting Loma. Like they like, yo,
Yeah,
like Loma's gonna, like
yeah.
I bet you ain't gonna find nobody in Loma country saying Devin gonna win. I tell you that, man.
No, you ain't seeing that nowhere.
Yeah.
If they say something like that in a bar over there where Lomachenko from, they getting beat up and taken out the bar, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they gonna make them pay. And they gonna make them pay somebody else's tab. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Straight up. You know
Unless
what I
they go out
mean?
there to Ukraine and say Devin Haney about to win. Shit.
Yeah, they gonna go fucking crazy, bro. They is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, not me.
And
I ain't doing that one.
hell no,
I ain't
I
scared of
think it's gonna be a
nobody, but
great
I ain't
fight.
doing this.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
a great
great.
one.
It's gonna be a really, really great fight, man. And it's for all the marbles. And I was saying this too, Lance. Like I'm kind of curious to see how Devin looks at the weigh-in. If he looked better than
Yeah,
he did after his last fight, because he didn't. He looked shredded, but you can tell like they sucked out every ounce of water and everything else.
yeah,
Like he just looked
yeah,
crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a part of the process, but still
yeah.
though, you know what I mean? because Loma ain't gonna have no problem making weight.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? He is small,
Mm-mm.
135 anyway. Like,
No, no, that's Loma weight.
yeah, like
That's
that's
the way he
Loma's
gonna
weight.
stay at, retire at. Like
Yeah,
that's Loma
and
weight.
that's the thing, man. Like I like it's crazy because people pick and choose their arguments. Like when Floyd was saying he don't really gain no weight after after the weigh-in, he's always a
Mhm.
smaller dude.
Yeah.
People was saying, hey, Floyd's still gonna win the fight. Like you feel what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I'm like,
Yeah.
Loma is relatively he probably comes in no more than maybe 140, 142 fight
140
night.
maybe. Well, I was just gonna say he probably top out at 43.
Yeah,
If that, he probably don't hit 44 or 45 until a week later.
right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so you dealing with a guy that's used to fighting at that weight, that's his weight, and he's comfortable at that weight. But then you dealing with a
Mhm.
guy like Haney that might be 20 pounds heavier on fight night. But if he don't have a punching power, that weight don't matter.
That weight
That
don't
weight,
matter a thing.
that weight matter if he can't put something on Loma and actually get his attention or hurt him. That's what
Facts.
makes the fight so interesting because
Facts.
people are just saying that he's bigger than Loma. I'm like, yeah, we know that. We know that. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like we know that already.
Facts.
But if he not cracking, what we talking? What we talking
Who
about?
we? Yeah.
Like what are we talking about? Like I was literally just chatting with like Randall Bailey. Randall Bailey's one of the heaviest 140-pound punches like in the history of boxing. Like you
Mhm.
feel what I'm saying? Like Haney don't have that type of power. Like, but I think Haney has enough power to like you're not gonna run up on me neither. You ain't gonna run up
Yeah.
on me, take my money neither. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he got
Yeah.
respect power, but you know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting fight, bro. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
real interesting fight. Like,
And speed is some nasty ass power. If he used that speed correctly, shit.
yeah. And
It'd
another
be
thing,
nice
bro,
to it'd be
and
nice
another
to see
thing,
Haney really put it to him and do things that people thought Teofimo was doing to him.
right, right. And the thing is, and it's like you gotta factor this in too. You got, you know, you know, you got conventional versus southpaw too.
Yeah,
So Haney's jab is not gonna come out the way it usually comes
the
out. You
way it
have to
usually
adjust.
comes out.
Yeah, you gotta adjust your jab to the southpaw. Like it's almost like you gotta reach over the top. You
Yep,
know what I'm saying? You gotta reach over the top, to get your jab off. When you fighting a conventional dude, you could just shoot it.
you can just shoot it.
Yeah, you fighting a southpaw, you have to
You
you
gotta
gotta aim and
yeah,
target. You know what I'm
either that
saying?
or you gotta take a risk and put yourself on the inside of his whole area where you don't want to be at.
Yeah. It's just Haney. I just think Haney has to make a lot more adjustments in this fight than Loma does. I think Loma can go in there and just fight Loma and be competitive.
And be competitive.
I think Haney needs to really show some things that he hasn't had to show. I'm not saying he don't have the tools, but he hasn't had to show it because most of his fights he could just win with the jab.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's what's
true.
gonna make it. That's what's gonna make it interesting.
That is that's very true.
Like if he dogs Loma, like if he dogs him, I'm like, yeah, like Haney that dude. Like if he dogs him, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see him
Yeah.
dogging Loma. I just don't see it.
Nah, I don't see him dog walking him or nothing like that. I see it being a really close competitive fight. It's a real chess match that's about to happen.
Yeah, that chess match gonna be crazy. And I was saying earlier, bro, I'm like, usually Loma is a slow starter. If
Mhm.
Loma can be maybe even with Haney after 6, we gonna have a real fight. We gonna have a real
Oh
fight
yeah.
because Haney can't cruise in the back half of the fight with just a jab, and keep it moving. Mm-mm. No,
Mhm.
like Haney gonna have to bag these first 3-4 rounds early. You know what I'm saying? He
Early.
gonna have to bag them. He gonna have to bag them. Hey,
Early.
bro, I wanted to ask you this, like off the topic, man. Like,
Mhm.
have you talked to Chino and Jay after their experience on the tank card?
I talked to Jay a little bit. I ain't really been able to speak with Chino since then. But yeah, I spoke to Jay a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so just you done been in the game so long, bro. Like for them to get that opportunity and that experience, like, do you think that benefits a fighter in the long run just to get that experience, even if they didn't, they didn't come out on the winning side of things?
Yeah, it does. It does because ain't nothing like that. Like the atmosphere, the whole atmosphere. You're not gonna get that in Iowa, especially like where we at. You're not getting that kind of atmosphere at all. The whole, the real electrifying moments. People, people coming up to you and talking to you like they know you, and all of that. Want to take pictures and have you sign shirts and sign the shirt that they wearing and shit, and or hats and everything like that. Walking out the arena and there really being thousands of people there, going to a press conferences and stuff, and having all the people there weigh in. It's a whole different scenario. It is a whole different scenario. So yeah, it does benefit them. It could benefit them, and it could be the downfall of them too, because they could get their head too high and mighty about something. A person can, and think that they at a level that they not.
Yeah, that's a great response, bro. Because I was more, um, I thought Chino going in. I thought Chino had a legit shot. I know people know Truck Simpson and all of that.
Mhm.
Truck Simpson's a good fighter, but I've seen Truck Simpson come into a fight. He came in like 12 pounds overweight at the weigh-in, man. Like, so it's, I mean,
Damn.
like, so I've seen him like on his bad side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Skilled fighter, but
I think.
Chino is a
Yeah.
dude that he's a fighter like at heart. And you don't want to run into a dude like that and you ain't ready. So I thought Chino had a legit shot against
Yeah. Chino got the
against
grit.
Truck.
He got that gritty to where he can get down and dirty if he need to, and take that. And he ain't scared to take a risk.
Facts.
And
And you know another thing, bro. I was more I was more worried about Jay because I think Jay's not fighting in the right weight class. Like, you know what I
no.
mean? That's just me. I don't think he's fighting at the right weight class. Um, Jay is fighting at basically 47. He's fought fights over 47.
47.
Yeah,
Like.
like Jay. And this is back when he was with Mike Pat. Big
Mhm.
shout out to Mike Pat. Like, and the one thing I will say about Mike Pat is he told me things on how he was kind of maneuvering Jay back then.
Mhm.
And I kind of see why he was
Mhm.
saying some of the things he was saying back then, man. So big shout out to Mike Pat. But Jay needs to
What's up,
get
man?
down. He got to get down in
You
weight.
do you want me to? Is there any way I can meet you tonight and give you the cash, or do you want me to cash out
Yeah,
it?
that's fine.
I can meet you tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I
Yeah.
can't wait, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah. Then shoot.
Yeah, that's a fighter.
I think. Go ahead.
That's a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of my little fighters. One of our fighters right here.
Let me see. What's up, bro? We
So
waiting. We
hell,
waiting.
the
Fighting.
same game. So I got G5
What's
from
good?
Philadelphia.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on with your family?
Working and training, 100% every day.
Okay, okay.
Every
What
day.
weight you fight at?
135.
Ooh. All right. What you think about the Loma and Haney fight?
The Loma and Haney fight. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, uh, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them two guys. They're both monsters.
Yeah.
They're both
Are you
monsters,
pro?
man.
Are you pro yet?
No, I'm amateur.
You amateur? How long you been in the amateurs?
Uh, I've been boxing for 2 years. I've been
Okay.
training. I trained with one of my buddies in Iowa City. I went to MCBC for a little bit, and I stopped when my son was born.
Okay.
Uh, I started coming here sometime last year, and I've been at it ever since, nonstop.
When you think about going pro, you is that your goal?
That's my goal. Yes, it is. That is. I'm trying to dedicate all my time and effort into this.
Right.
That I mean, this is what I wanted to do. This has been what I've wanted to do for a long time.
Hey,
And
listen,
with
man.
Lance,
No, go ahead,
with
bro.
Lance, I mean, with Lance by my side, I mean, 100%. It's always been help, and I look up to him, and he's an inspiration for us and everybody here at the gym.
Let me tell you this before I let you go, man. I appreciate you jumping on. Like the first thing with being in the sport of boxing is having solid people with you. You know what I'm saying? And Lance is
Yeah,
about as solid as you can get. He can tell you the positives, the negatives of the sport. He can tell you what you need to do to be successful in the sport. Not only just in the sport, but just as a man, period. You know what I'm saying? Like Lance will put you in the right direction. And it's other guys in Iowa that'll put you there too. Tree James will put you there. You know, it's a bunch of other guys that's gonna put you there, man. So you've already won the first battle, which is having somebody that has your best interest in your corner. And Lance has your best interest and he's in your corner. So you've already won. You know what I mean? Just stay in the
yeah,
gym, work on your craft, and listen, you always got an outlet with me. So whenever you fight again, let me know. We'll get you on, get you some pub, get you some exposure. You could jump on with Lance, and we can basically go from there, man. So you got somebody in Philly that's rocking with you, and good luck to you. You know what I'm saying?
of course. Thank you, man.
Hey
Thank you,
man, hey Lance, give him
100%.
my information too, man, so I can keep up with him. Or give
Of
him
course,
my information.
of course. Thank you. Nice. Thank you.
Hey man, my pleasure, brother.
You said to give him his information.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, hell yeah.
We got Coach Pepe in the building, man. Pepe Pena in the building. Pepe, who you like in the
Pep,
fight, man?
Pep.
Loma, Haney. Big shout out to Coach. Big shout out to Coach. I just talked to Tree like not that long ago too, man. Like we was just
Yeah, hey,
like,
that's why you couldn't hear me because I was on the phone with Tree when I first got on,
yo, I knew it
and
was
I was
Tree
like, man, I
fault,
wonder if
yo.
it's.
Yo, I
Yeah,
knew it
I
was
was
Tree
wondering. I was
fault.
like, man, we're gonna see if it worked real quick.
Hey, Lance, and his ass talking about something, get off the
Yeah,
headphones when it was his fault the whole goddamn time. Tree
he was on
always
the.
screwing
Yeah, he
something
talking about
up,
get off
bro.
the headphones because he on the phone with
Right.
him.
Yo, okay, so coach like Loma. Coach likes Loma. I
See?
really because I'm probably not gonna be able to jump back on here till Sunday, but I definitely want to do like a post fight. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
people are just saying that Loma's too small, and I'm like, yo, like Haney's not a power puncher, and he don't use his weight like that. Like I'm just like, this is gonna be skill for skill. This is gonna be skill for
it
skill.
is.
It's really gonna be skill for
It
skill, man.
is.
Anybody that's picking Loma, I'm not even mad at you. I'm not mad at you. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't. I can't get mad at no decision on this. No choice. No,
That's a fact.
because
I can't
like
even get
that's what I
upset.
say. There's still that side. That's what I told you. There's still that side of me that's like, man, what if Lomo pulled that Floyd on Canelo shit? Who
Yeah,
who else was it? Bernard Hopkins and Kelly Pavlik.
yeah. We have situations where the smaller guys beating the bigger guy. You know what I'm
The
saying?
smaller and the older. Anyway, smaller and older.
Yeah. I mean, it's really
So,
gonna be a crazy fight, bro. Like it's really gonna be a crazy fight, at the end of the day. But I think I'm leaning towards Haney just because he's the younger guy, fresher fighter. But I wouldn't be
hmm
surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Loma pulls it off. Coach Pepe said, need more than a jab to beat a crafty boxer. Loma can get crafty. Coach, I said that earlier. If he think he just gonna
Yeah,
jab,
Crafty ain't no lie.
if he think he just gonna jab and move and gonna win the fight, he gonna need to do
hmm
more than that. He gonna need to do
And
more
then
damage.
I do kind of think you see that. I know you seen the video where they was when they was walking into the place together and stuff behind Loma was walking behind them. It's almost like Haney was reaching though for a little future excuse if he do lose this fight by calling Lomachenko a dirty fighter.
Yeah, and people need to listen, bro. People need to understand what that was. He
Lomo
said
not
that.
dirty.
Yeah, he said that to plant that seed for whoever the referee of that fight is to get him to thinking.
Yeah,
The only way Loma wins this fight is unless Loma gets on the inside. People got to
yeah.
recognize. People got to recognize why fighters say certain things at certain times. You understand what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
kind of goes to show you, like he's thinking about it. Like he's thinking
Mhm.
about it because I'm another thing I'm curious about is how much clinching is Haney gonna do in this fight? How much clinching is
He
Haney
gonna have
gonna
to
do
do
in
something.
Yeah, because
He
I'm
gonna
like, if
have
he's
to.
the bigger fighter, he's a stronger fighter. To be honest with you, he really shouldn't be clinching. So I'm
He
really
shouldn't,
curious.
but
He
I see
shouldn't.
him doing it.
He's
I see.
going to.
I'm
He's
saying
going to.
he shouldn't be the one trying to do that, but it's gonna happen.
He's
It's
going.
gonna
He's
happen. It's
going
gonna be
to
yeah.
for sure. Like he's
That ref
definitely
gonna the
going
ref
to.
gonna have to work.
The ref going to have to work like
The ref is gonna
for
have to
sure.
work.
But Loma can really, if Loma makes the fight with his footwork, if he makes the fight with his footwork, and if he throws a jab out himself, see, Loma can't forget his jab. He can't forget his jab. Like he has to throw a
Mm-mm.
jab in this fight. Like he's gonna have to throw a
Mhm.
jab in this fight. Um, because Haney is such a high volume guy in terms of his jab, but we haven't seen Haney throw too many jabs against southpaws neither. He
True.
has a great jab with guys that's conventional fighters. How great is his jab against a guy with, you know what I'm saying, a guy that's southpaw?
Man.
Loma's still top 10 defensively in the sport. Like, let's get that clear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
Definitely.
defense is nasty.
Most
Like
definitely. That
his
man
defense is nasty.
IQ.
Yeah, the
That
defense is
man
nasty.
IQ is out this world.
Yeah, like so I think it's gonna be a really, really, really good fight. Like I think it's really gonna be a good fight. You know what I mean? Like I just think people are
Mhm.
underestimating Lomachenko, and I might his last fight, Jermaine Ortiz was bigger than him, and
Yeah.
he eventually chopped him down. Now he eventually chopped him
Yep.
down, man. Bro, what you got? What you got lined up,
Yep.
bro?
Shoot, I'm about to step in. I step into the ring Saturday. Matter of fact, on the same day in Cedar Rapids here in
Okay,
Iowa. Uh, shit, I done went through. It's for that Extreme Maximus and stuff. Scott T and Monty Cox. They the promoters of the event.
okay.
But I was supposed to fight some Richard Flores cat.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened a few weeks ago, and he had to pull out from the fight. And then since then, they literally, man, bro, they literally went through like 8 different guys that would accept it and then flake out like 2 days later. So for like
Wow.
3 weeks straight, we went through like 8 different opponents, and then finally got some dude, some Bryn Heathcock. That's so whoever the hell that motherfucker is. That's who I'm about to step into the ring with and put down on this block.
He said, whoever that is. Straight up. Like and you know the thing is, people don't realize that when you're a quality fighter, a lot of guys are gonna turn you down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I had that conversation with Tree, and Tree was like, yo, it's getting to the point to where this is when Tree was on his run after the Mushin fight.
Mhm.
And I said, bro, I said, you're gonna put yourself to a point to where your promoter is not going to be able to pay the standard amount to a fighter to get in the ring with you. They're going to have to
Mhm.
overpay for opponents. So that's
And
actually how
that's
you
what and
know.
that's what they kept saying. They was like, man, Lance, I don't know what it is about you, but to get guys to actually want to commit to fight you, you're the most expensive one. Nobody like everybody is
Nobody wants to, yeah.
saying it's not worth it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like
Like,
man,
so
hey,
people, and I be trying to educate people, bro, because I'm like, people that look at the sport of boxing, they're like, oh, He don't have no undefeated record. He must be this. He must be that. I'm like, no, like you got to understand the sport. I'm like, you got guys like Emmanuel Augustus. He's one of the best fighters to do it, and he got plenty of losses. Skills shows.
And see, you talking about my man right there. You know, that was one of my training partners when I lived in Vegas. That
See,
was
I
like
didn't
my
even know
main
that.
training partner right there.
That's
That was
he's
literally
one of my
my
top
main
5 fighters
training
of all
partner.
time. He's one of my top
Like
5 fighters of all time. One of my
he
top
was
5
a
favorites.
real showman. He
Yeah,
was a real showman.
like he was just next level. Like, you know what I mean? Like next level with it. You
Yeah,
know,
it
it's
was
crazy.
shit.
What's
I was
that,
with him and
yo? What's
uh-huh.
that kid name that was just on the camera?
That's my little champ Mike.
Mike. Tell him
Yep.
to
Yeah, I'm gonna
keep in
shoot you on his
contact.
info too.
Yeah, tell him to keep in
Oh
contact,
yeah.
man. I'm gonna jump up off this joint, man. I appreciate you jumping on, bro. I'm gonna hit you up tonight, man. I gotta holler at you about something.
Most deaf.
I'm gonna holler at you tonight. I'm gonna call your
All
phone.
right, bet.
All right, bro.
I'm
This
about to
Lance
say, yeah, I'm
Lamb
about
Down
to
Williams, man.
catch this last little workout, and then, yep.
Okay. I'll hit you later on.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. That's my dog, man. Lance Lamb Down Williams, man. Big shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get up off this joint, man. 2 hours, 30 minutes strong, man. Fresh back off a couple weeks layoff, man. Big shout out to Shane. Big shout out to Boxing First Vlog. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend. You know what I'm saying? You know, we up out of here, man. I'll probably see y'all Sunday. We're gonna do a post fight. Appreciate y'all. Peace.